Thank you. Right on time. It's 7 o'clock. Well done, everybody. Thanks again for all being prompt. Alex and Paul and Tammy, thanks all for filling in when I've lost some players. I really appreciate it. To recap where we left off last week, and a quick recap of the mission. What's been going on is Polly, Darrow, Blark and Breed were hired to take out a pest problem underneath a warehouse, and they've been dealing with giant ants, giant beetles and giant scorpions. Breed, who is a wild mage, in the first session, she sex changed an ant with her wild surge, and in the third session, she has turned herself into a giant ant. And where we left it last week was Blark and Darrow and Polly have discovered a body like child size, but by power of deduction, they reckon it's more likely to be an adult halfling, wearing a ring that looks very special. And Breed was still at that point turned into a giant ant, and that's where we left it.
How much then?
Basically, what's going to happen at that point, right, when Breed, after another 10 minutes, because she'd been turned into an ant for 10 minutes, after another 10 minutes, she's going to, first of all, she runs. I want everybody to roll for surprise, actually. So roll 1d10. Darrow, you roll 1d10, and I'll roll it for Polly and Blark, right? So no one's surprised. But she's attacking Blark in particular. So I want everybody to roll initiative. So Darrow, if you could roll initiative, Peter, if you could roll initiative for Darrow, I'll roll initiative for everybody else.
Yeah, I'm there we are. That's got my character sheet up at last. Go down, trying to spot a weapon or two. There we are. There's a weapon. We'll assume I've still got an axe in one of my hands.
Yep.
Roll that.
Well, both of your hands, because it's a big two-handed axe, isn't it?
Yeah. I can free one of the hands to turn undead or whatever.
Just one moment, I'll roll the last initiatives. So basically, yeah, all of a sudden this ant who was walking around placidly, this giant ant has like snapped, its body starts spasming like the first one you saw, and she's angrily snapped and looks like she's about to attack, turned and about to attack Blark. Darrow, what's he going to
do? I'll have the thing ready just in case. So I out a warning, but delay the action.
Yeah. A hold action.
Trying to find. There we are. I've got the right place on the map. So shout out warning and be ready if the ad definitely does attack.
Okay.
Go and hit it.
Okay. So the ant goes next. Now, quick question, Tammy, you can still hear me in roll 20, yeah?
I hear you in roll 20.
Okay. Sorry, in Discord, yeah? obviously.
Oh, yeah, I can.
Are you able to be in Roll20 just so that your picture's up? Like, you don't need you to use it. I can move any character around with that. But if you're able to have it up just so that your picture comes up. And Peter, can you change it so that it goes back to being Darrow, the dwarf picture, if possible?
Yeah, I just realised what's
Thank you, Tammy.
is an effect of starting a second copy of the thing that it
okay.
goes. I go back to chat.
Perfect, thank you everybody, we're tidy. So, the ant jumps up and goes to attack Blark.
Oh, so the ant thing's taken over.
That would be your best guess anyway. Doesn't hit Blark though, because Blark's got an armor class of 3. Blark, in his panic, is going to attack the ant. He never trusted it in the first place. He's not going to hold back like Darrow did. He's going to swing an axe at it.
Yeah.
It's just tried to bite him, so it's just bit into his armor, in fact. And he's not hit it. Now, Polly, he's going to be more like Darrow, and he goes, oh, I'm not sure what's going on here. He's also going to hold his action. But Blark has his second attack with his other hand. And he hits it.
See?
For 8 damage. His axe bites into the carapace of the ant, into the back of it, cracking it almost wide open. Somehow the ant's still moving. Polly is doing nothing. Again, he hesitates. Does nothing, and we get to the end of the round where Darrow, you've held your action. And you can now decide if you're going to attack it or not.
I'm he's still unsure that he thinks this was. How injured does Ark look?
Blark is uninjured.
Does he look?
He's uninjured.
Ooh, that.
Yeah, he'd been
I
healed.
think that I will say, can you retreat from? Can we get away from Ant in case if it still is her?
I'll quickly check the movement speed of it. Haven't put it in, hang on.
I suspect Darrow is the one who's least likely to be able to get away.
His movement rate is 9, so Darrow can't get away.
Ooh.
And Polly. Polly's a halfling. Polly has movement rate 6 as well.
How was the bridge attached?
Not attached. Just laid out across the flat bits, like the flat bits of rock. Not attached. Just laid out.
And there's water underneath.
Yes.
Harrow,
Murky, dirty water.
okay. Arrow is going to start moving this way. I'm not sure how far I can get. I bring up the...
Yeah, it's 60 feet you can move in one round, so...
Oh, right. Arrow will say... Hey, come on, lads. We could get across the bridge.
Okay. Now you've got plenty of movement left if you wanted to go further.
Well, he's wanting to help lift the bridge.
Oh, to lift it. Okay, cool. So that's his turn then.
Yeah, so come on, we can get across the bridge and leave the...
Okay. Okay, well that's about as much as you can shout in one round anyway. Yo BC, excuse me, I have to... So, we'll go to the beginning of another round then. Now this, if it comes to it, I would need to add a third attack for Blark because of his weapon specialisation in the axes. But I want to see what happens first anyway. Polly, I wouldn't need to change initiative because he's going to either shoot or leg it with Darrow. And Blark, I won't need to change initiative because we're going to see what he does once the ant attacks, because the ant is attacking again this round. Should pull these. I'll pull these character sheets over this other screen, guys. Sorry, folks. Viewers. So you don't have to witness all that. Attack roll. And he's good. Yeah, so the ant tries to bite at Blark again and misses. But at this point, Blark is going to attack again. And miss. Oh no, sorry. It's armor class 5. He hits it.
Good. So worse. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether it was.
Yeah, armor
Because
class 5.
it may have a worse armor class than the standard ant or whatever.
Anyway, whether that ant was or was not previously your party member, it is now squashed into the floor after attacking Blark. As the ant dies, as the last life comes out of its body, again this clearly magically induced spasming happens to it. Now, even after it's died, its body goes into spasm, and you can almost see a magical energy buzzing around this gyrating, pulsating, cracked open ant corpse. And just as it dies, just as it makes its last jerk, just as it takes its last kind of and then goes down, you see this almost magical glow comes into definite vision, and you can see this energy, and it shoots out of the ant, and it hits Blark, and Blark falls unconscious immediately.
You need to... Blark is a bit heavy to carry.
Blark's a big boy, but you're quite strong, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, so we can... First of all... Okay, if Wally is able to help me drag and carry him...
Uh-huh. You would definitely manage him between the two of you.
Then we have to carry him towards exit, I suggest. Let us take him, and then we mention what happened with Bleed and the ant, and
Okay. You make your way through.
Yes.
I actually don't go in there. Now I'm just doing a quick visual representation of you going through the couple of caves that you've already been through.
Yes.
Like last time when you come out, you come across two guards. If you remember their names, one of them was a half orc like your friend Blark. His name was Thrall, and the other one was Zegram, the half elf. And remember, the Zegram had the eye patch, and they were the personal guards working for Norm. Two of his men, two of his employees that he had turned into guards, armed and armoured up. And then, like we said, there was the two further out on the exit were the two brothers, the two human brothers that also worked for Norm and had been armoured and armed up as well. Do you want to go to Norm's office to take Black to him? Or do you want to go somewhere else?
I would take it to him, but I also want to come back for the ant body anyway.
Okay.
If Norm sees us before we... is there anywhere else to safely deposit Lark to recover?
Well, you remember you did have... There's the two big churches in the town, and you were on friendly terms with Marcus at the Temple of Cord, so...
And the temple's pretty close by, isn't it?
It wasn't far away, that's right. Well, anyway, as you come through, you would go... Sorry, go ahead.
There's a chance Blark would recover naturally, so I'm wondering whether we go back for the ant straight away.
Blark doesn't look to be in any deteriorating condition. He's unconscious just like he's sleeping. He doesn't have any kind of fever or any obvious injury. He's just sleeping.
Then I'll check what Paulie thinks. But,
Polly's in a state of shock. Polly is struggling to talk, actually. He's in a state of nervous shock almost. Shaking, white. He's managing to help you carry Blark, but you feel it's more on adrenaline than anything.
Then I think that I may try to leave them both with Norm.
Okay. In that case, Norm would say to you that that's fine. To leave Blark and Polly with you, and to return again tomorrow, and he'll make sure that Blark has got the best care possible in the area, and Polly, because Polly's obviously in a very shaking condition. This is Darrow, and he doesn't even ask what's happened to Breed. He just looks at you and says, "Okay, don't worry, we will fix this tomorrow. Come back when you're ready tomorrow, Darrow. Is there anything you need in the meantime? Do you need money or anything?"
Breed turned into an ant and attacked killed her. Not sure whether to collect a body in case it turns human again.
But Norm looks at you in a look of almost feigned disbelief, like he's putting on a kind of look of disbelief. But you've seen this kind of look from Norm before, like his look says one thing, but you know that his wisdom almost says another thing. You know that he knows better. So he gives you this almost false kind of shocked look when you say about that, and he says, "Okay, Darrow, if there's anything you need, like I've sorted out your tavern, you at the Machine at Arms. It's all for free for you there. like we've already sorted out. If there's anything you need from any of the guys in town, I think we're a couple of days for some more potions for you.
People are. There's someone able to come and get a corpse with me.
Well, I'm already working. I already have. I already have a couple of people I want to introduce you to. In fact, I'm going to introduce them to you tomorrow. I thought it seemed like, and you see, I've put guards around the place, that this is a more serious situation than I thought at first. So I've recruited some help for you, and I'm going to introduce them to you tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get your
And
companions.
there's something else. We found the remains of a halfling.
Right, okay, so yes, this is more serious than at first we thought. Yeah, there's something more than a giant ant pest control problem going on here. So Darrow, this is a serious thing now. We will convene again tomorrow. In fact, if you want to even just take a couple of days, Darrow, I'll post double guards, I'll keep it closed up. If you want to take a couple of days, then the potions will be ready for you. You won't even need to go over to the church to get those. I will have them here for you, ready for you. If you wait 2 days before you come back, Darrow.
Is there someone whom I can report the halfling corpse? Perhaps they will know who they were.
I will put that onto the correct authorities, yes. You can leave that with me, Darrow, or you can trust me that I will give that information to the correct channels. If of course you do trust me, good dwarf.
Yes, and there was a ring on the halfling, though not the one that you sought.
Ah, okay. And this halfling, was he long dead?
There were. He was down to the bone, so.
Well, either way, dwarf, I did say anything you find down there is yours, as part of your payment for this job you do for me. So,
I have taken out. I did take out the ring. Show it.
You'll have a look at the ring, and as you see him looking at the ring, you know yourself already that he has these big, gaudy, huge, expensive jeweled rings on his fingers. So it does almost look like it's a cheap, tacky thing compared to his, but it's still got this huge big stone in it. He inspects it and he looks at it, and again it's like a fake impressed look. He's like, oh wow, you know what I mean, as if to say, yeah, this is crap compared to what I have. That's the kind of look he gives it. And he'll hand it back to you.
Yes, but perhaps when you've spoken to the authorities, if the halfling were local, they might recognise it.
True. There are halfling communities somewhere here in the island. Now, if I remember, they're called... I have the names of them. I'll pull the map out in a second. In fact, I'll do it now. In fact, I remembered. It's Broadfoot Vale and Little Spear. There's 2 halfling villages.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you wanted to find out any information about any local halflings, that would be where you would take that.
There were none lived in town, or...
There are a few, but I mean, there are a few, yes, but there are 2 actual halfling communities nearby.
Yes.
But yeah, there are a few halflings in town.
Well, I've been told to wait a couple of days. I will cure myself, and I don't know whether I'll be fully healthy overnight or not. I believed I only used 1 spell last.
You would be, especially within a couple of days. And remember, Marcus said to you at the church that you can get healed up there for free. Just that the potions wouldn't be in for a couple of days, but that you can heal up there for free.
Yeah, so I would cast the 2 spells on myself. Because there's no point in asking Marcus. Why should I ask Marcus to do it if I can do it myself?
Okay.
So, first...
Yeah, go ahead and roll them. Oh, nice.
And that's me on full on the first spell.
Cool, okay.
And I don't believe either of the others were injured.
No, they weren't. But you've left Blark and Polly with Norm, so it's just you yourself now. Let me
No.
change your map.
That's back to the inn.
So that's you back at the inn. Now, if you remember, your axe that was being repaired by Torm had 2 days left to be done also.
It will be ready at the same time.
The same time as your potions, and yeah, Norm said give it a couple
In that
of days.
case, it would be Darrow being a respectable lad. He will seek to return. He's not expecting to need the great axe before then. He will expect to return the one he was loaned
to Torm.
At least visit. Yes, to at least visit Torm and explain the situation.
Okay.
If you want your axe back now.
Okay. Now, for the sake of everyone else, in this case, Peter, I won't do a big roleplay with Torm like we did last time. That character will always be there. We'll have loads of great opportunities to roleplay with him. We'll just say you go to Torm, you give him back the axe that he loaned you, and he gives you back your holy axe, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, I would have mentioned the dead people. Probably would have gone to the temple as well and mentioned
to Marcus.
Marcus.
Okay.
About Hyde being turned into an ant and attacking us. Is there any point in rescuing the corpse if she is still an ant?
He would tell you that it sounds like remember Marcus being very philosophical with everything he said. So he would be something like, it's not mine or your place to interfere with the ways of blah blah blah. And he would say that once something is corrupted like that, there's no bringing it back, and something along these kind of religious, vague kind of lines. Yeah, something like that.
Then he will. And I'll also mention the halfling corpse.
Okay.
But I know you want to get on, but
I want to get on, but we'll go through. I mean, without doing a role play scene, we'll say that he would say, all right, something like along the lines of, and what's Norm say about that? Now my camera's fucking up on my stream. Yeah, let's come back. He would ask you what Norm thinks of that.
Norm said he was going to tell the authorities, saying in case anyone around here knows of a missing halfling. The corpse was down to bones, so the vermin will have been at least as long as the vermin would need to eat the flesh.
Okay.
Not.
He's pondering it. He says, okay, I think I'll maybe have to see Norm myself. Now, you're going to have to excuse me, guys, because my webcam's fucking up. So I'm going to have to unplug my camera and just fix a couple of things. It'll be like 1 minute. Excuse me. Doesn't do this very often. Sorry about that. So yeah, I had to take a minute there away from D&D to fix something for the stream. So to D&D players, I apologise. Anyway, yes, Marcus will give you a studious look. He'll give you vague religious, pompous nonsense when you try to ask him for any kind of serious answers. He says that he will need to speak to Norm himself, though. His priests in the church again they would give you any healing that you required, but you don't.
Yeah.
And if unless there's anything else you want to do in the town within the 2 days, we can go straight ahead to meeting Norm the next Aye, after 2 days with your new axe after having met Torm.
Apart from obviously having a drink in memory of the deceased.
Yes, we'll say that you went to the Thistledown, the other bar that you really liked, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so you go and you have a drink there on your own. Without your drinking partner, Blark.
Yes, so it would probably be a short drink, and then I return to the inn in the hope that Lark will appear. Or even halfling.
Okay, bear with me just a minute, and guys, I'm just going to do something within Roll20. Viewers, what I'm doing here is I'm changing the token of Blark to something else, and you'll see why in a minute. So... Okay, Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Check out your token and attached sheet now. If you want to just pull your token over from the menu, there you go. What do you think of that?
I like it. That is great.
Okay, I'm taking it away for now because it's a little surprise for coming up soon, but I just thought I'd show you that everything's linked up to the character sheet now, and when you change the name, it'll automatically change it there, okay?
Awesome!
Happy days.
Can I do that now?
Yes, absolutely. So, Darrow, you go back to Norm 2 days later, yeah? After doing everything else. You've had a drink in memory of your deceased companion. You have spoke to Norm, you spoke to Marcus, you spoke to Torm. Okay. So the next day, when you go in to see Norm, there's 2 new people standing in the office. In fact, there's 3 new people there's 3 new people standing in the office. Polly's nowhere to be seen. There is a dark-skinned elven gentleman wearing robes. There is a young, red-haired, half-elven, loose-clothed, hippie-looking, almost gypsy-looking woman. I say woman, she's very young actually, a young girl. And there is, wearing armour and carrying 2 axes, there's a female half-orc. Standing in the office with Norm.
So I have returned. Are these the new companions you mentioned?
Oh yes. This is Cornaith and Kiara, who I hired to assist you to bolster your party. Unfortunately, young Darrow the young halfling Polly, he's not cut out. He's not fit for the adventurer life, I'm afraid. He's taken the death of your friend very, very seriously or very badly, and he's in no nervous state to be able to be a sword for hire ever again. I will happily give him a job and pay him well here in the sawmill, but he'll never be a sword for hire ever again.
Right. Well, some are cut out for the adventuring life, some are not.
I mean, perhaps maybe one day he will get over this, but in the meantime, he doesn't even say much. He's happy to help around here in the mill. He's keeping busy. I've not even talked about officially giving him a job. He just kind of took to started working around here. So I think I'll give him a job here and look after him in any way that I need to. But Blark, well, Blark is another story. And he looks over at this big half-orc woman who's the same height or similar height to Blark. She's got the similar looking armour on and she's carrying the 2 axes.
Oh,
And you put the 2 and 2 together, but he says, yeah, Blark woke up like this.
Lark? Is that you?
Aye, well, don't go by Black no more.
Well, it's a change that has come over you. You might want to mark that in your name, yeah, lad up, lass.
What's the new name?
Garona will grab your arm at the elbow and, like, kind of shake your arm. I am Garona.
Garona. Right. Well, I hope you still like your beer.
So somehow
Aye, beer is always great.
somehow the
Right.
somehow the wild surge from the mage like before has done a sex change. Some magical sex change, so you know her appearance has changed completely, the voice has changed completely. She's now a female by magic. By accidental wild mage magical surge, Blark has changed into a female half-orc and she's changed her name. Now say again, Garona, yeah?
Aye.
Garona. And at this point, Paul, you can introduce your character Cornaith, and Tammy can introduce her character Kiara. Paul? Tammy?
I'm here. I've just got a little chaos going on at the moment. Dogs to go in and out.
Okay. Tammy, do you want to go first then?
Just me.
Yeah, if you want to go. Basically, so you've been hired. Sorry, a little bit more background. You've, like these guys did previously. Sorry, I assume because you were watching it, you know what happened. These guys got hired by Norm. Same thing has happened. You've answered a letter, and this dark elf chap that's come at the same time as you, the two of you have been hired by Norm to join this party. So if you want to say anything about your character to the guys, this is your chance.
I'm Kiara. I'm only 16. But I'm not as young.
Fortunately, I'm not hearing you clearly.
Yeah, same.
It might be my headset, actually.
Right.
Just try to be as slow and clear as you can.
Yeah, it could be the Scottish as well.
You're okay. Go ahead.
I'm 16. I'm not as young as I might appear to be, though. And I hope that's not.
She's a dog, eh?
But this is my dog, Tegan. The guard dog.
She has a big, like, mastiff style breed of dog. Big, huge black thing.
Right. Well, it looks a good animal to protect a young lass on her own.
It's a very good animal for protecting.
Now, you don't see any weapons, like, immediately. Like, she's not carrying anything in her hands or anything. But you do see her, she's carrying... What's the musical instrument? It was a lute, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And Paul, if
Upon you introducing yourself, Garona's gonna grab you by the elbow and, like, shake your arm. She's gonna be like, I am Garona.
Hi, Grona. I'm Kiara. I'll just gently take your hands and just touch you, not aggressively.
Yeah, Gorona's kind of doing it slightly aggressive, not being an orc and not knowing her own strength.
No, I'm intimidated by it. I'm just gently.
Cool. Paul, if you get the chance, do you want to say something about Cornaith? Or if that's even how I pronounce it properly.
He looks around at everybody and he introduces himself. He says, "My name is Cornaith Nirstara. I am obviously a gray elf. For those of you who are unversed in the differences of elves, we are the top of the line elves.
Well,
I don't fight very much, but I do have a very uncanny ability of changing the minds of those who wish to do harm to myself."
Well, if you can change the mind of ants and beetles and scorpions, they are what we have mainly met here.
Well, as far as I've experienced, everything needs to sleep now and
It's that will make them less of a danger.
and he appears to be nothing more than an elf in a fancy tunic and breeches with a nice quality cloak, and the only weapon that you see is a staff that has a Y at one end and what looks to be a cup attached to that end.
Uh,
Gorona's gonna do the same thing. Grab your elbow and shake it. You and I shall get along well.
Norm smiles at this when he sees Garona. He sees that Blark's come back to life. And although this may seem very surreal to a lot of people, you've already got the impression that Norm's seen it all. Norm has seen it all, right? So he's kind of... He's not, like, shocked by any of this. He's more marvelled by it. And when he sees the transformation in Blark and this new personality and this new orc called Garona, he's all for it and he's super enthusiastic, and he says, "Well, it's not the most usual of circumstances that's brought this group together, but yes, you're the new party. Like I said before, 600 gold to retrieve my ring, 10 gold per ant head, 20 gold per scorpion head."
per beetle head?
I think we said 10, didn't we?
I forgot to mention them when I last returned.
Sorry, Alex or Garona said something.
Gorona's gonna go up to him. I'm not good with math. How much?
And he'll look at Garona and he'll grab Garona in the same warrior's handshake that she's just given everybody else, right? And he'll grab her in. He's got a firm grip for having a missing finger or two. And he'll give her that warrior's handshake by the elbow and he'll say, "Enough, good orc, enough." And smile at her.
These notes I have on this character sheet, it says 7 ant heads, 2 scorpion heads.
Yeah. They've been.
Can I dump those on the counter?
You can dump those. They've been paid for those, actually. You can dump those from the character sheet. You've been paid for those.
Okay.
Yes. 50, there was 50 GP each, which Davo distributed last time we played.
That's right. So yeah, everyone's caught up on... Yeah, the party treasure has been split up. The items that the party has at the moment are that ring. The other 2 items, did you have those identified, actually? Peter, remind me. It was the dagger and the fish hooks. Did you have them identified at all?
No, because only just because we I'm just trying to remember I think we must have found them both. I think I did show them to... I can remember showing them, looking that we didn't assume they were magical.
No, you weren't. You didn't know if they were magical or not. You didn't have any detect magic ability to be able to know.
I could have checked in my day off.
Yes,
Could have.
you would have done. Now, to have items like that identified is going to cost you like 100 gold per item. But you could have went to Norm. Norm would have had it done for you at almost nothing, and he says he'll just take it out of what he's paying you. You work it out after. So Norm would get them over the 2 days. Norm would get them identified for you, and he'd work out an amicable deal. You know how generous he's been. So basically, yes. The first knife. I'll bring up the picture. In fact, I'll edit it so you guys can see it. It was like that, and it looked like it was made. It had an eye that looked like it does in the picture, and it was made of organic material. Remember, something like bone or coral or shell, something from the sea, and the fish hooks were the same. Now, after an identification, the in-game properties of the knife, the dagger, sorry, is it's a +1 magical dagger, +1 to attack, +1 to hit, and the fish hooks. I have this written down. Okay. These fishing hooks are as practical looking as they are ornate, precisely crafted from what appears to be some oceanic organic material, whether it be fish bone, coral or something else, you can't be sure. There are 10 in the bag. These fishing hooks, when used with regular fishing equipment, will add a +5 bonus to fishing proficiency checks and double the yield of fish on successful catches. Each hook can be used 1 time. So they're fishing hooks +1 basically. They're a magical fishing hook. It's a +5 bonus on your proficiency check, and it doubles the yield.
The ring.
The ring. Okay, now the ring.
Would have checked it magical first, obviously.
Yeah. Now the ring. He's going to say, "All right, you're going to have to leave that with me, and I'm going to have to get someone, a specialist friend of mine, in to have a look at this." So it would be beyond the capabilities of anyone around, and he's going to have to take a couple of days on the ring. So you would have to choose whether you want to leave the ring with Norm or not.
I think we can.
In game terms, Peter, when I rolled that ring, I rolled DM's choice, and I haven't chose yet.
Yeah.
So that still hasn't been specified what that is. So that's totally open yet, what that could be. So the couple of days is for me to decide.
Yeah. Well, I'd done the detect magic, and it was magical before. Well, I suppose I'm not on my own now because we have. We have. In the form of Corona is back.
Yep.
And he also owned a cut in the ring. See?
That's correct.
And Paulie is back.
No, Polly is gone. Polly didn't come back.
By which I mean Paulie, at least in the form of...
Is alive, yes.
I'm not sure whether it makes sense. I will mention it to Corona. How about one of us gain the ring, one of us gain the magical dagger, and we offer the fish hooks to Paulie as his share? What do you think, Corona?
Isn't OOC? Isn't Polly gone?
Polly's gone, yes. He's with Norm now. He's working for Norm. Norm's the owner of the sawmill. This all happened under a sawmill in a storeroom of sawmill, right? Norm is he's a big business owner. And Norm employs a lot of people. Polly has gone to work for Norm now. But Dado is saying that he still wants to offer these fish hooks, these magical fish hooks, as a thing to him, as a parting gift for his role in what's happened. Now, Polly's character was a hunter, so the fish hooks is actually quite appropriate.
Okay. Grono will say sure. Aye, sure. Sounds like a great plan. Great plan.
So that's leaving you an unknown magical ring and a +1 dagger between the two of you.
Do you want the magical dagger or the ring?
She's going to kind of have the battle axes off her and like flex with the battle axes. I don't use small things.
Nice.
I don't believe that I use.
One of your new characters might, though. So as well as the return of Garona, as well as the return of Blark in Garona form, you've got Cornaith and Kiara have joined the party.
As one of you, even though the dagger belongs to Garona or myself, neither of us use the weapon. Do either of you use daggers?
I'm proficient with a dagger.
Then, until such time as we gain other magic that we could arrange that the dagger becomes yours permanently, you want the use of the dagger for now.
Very kind. I would love to take the dagger.
Now, I'll do your character sheet for you, Tammy, and I'll do it as quick as I can, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just need to update a little bit.
Grona's going to kind of flex a little bit. What of the ring? Are you going to wear the ring, or should I?
We will not have the ring for. Hold on, I check again on what Norm said.
Yeah, okay, so
Was he?
you have ownership of the ring, it's yours, but he wanted to hang on to it for a couple of days to show it to a specialist friend of his to have it identified.
Can we hear what the ring does?
DM still has yet to decide what that is, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
When we hear
normally
what the ring does, then it may be obvious that one of us is better for it. So,
normally what I would do as a player character is I would just wear the ring and figure it out as I go. Try to identify it as I go. But seeing how the DM doesn't know what it is per se yet, leaving it to identify is probably the better choice for OC.
If the character puts it on her ring now, I'll just roll it on a table now. I'll random roll
you
it.
could make.
So scary. Can I see the ring? Watch, it's gonna be a fucking cursed ring.
It's
Gem.
it's a big multiple gem encrusted, fancy gold, beautiful, fancy ring.
Does it look like it would fit on any of Garona's fingers?
Looks like you would find a finger for it to fit on, surely, yeah.
Okay.
Are you trying it on?
No, I don't know yet. I don't know. I could Is there a way that I could like? Would it be intelligence or wisdom? That she'd like. Would she be smart enough not to put it on, or would?
Common sense, I'm afraid. There's not a stat for it. It's roleplay, really. Like, how tempted are you about this magical ring?
Corona's very tempted. It's shiny.
There's some barbarians who are a bit scared of magic, but she's not one of those then.
Yeah, Corona is very curious and her curiosity will get her in trouble. So I don't know. Would Darrow allow Corona to is it in Corona's hands right now? Darrow?
I thought it would be. I thought at the moment it's been with.
It would be with.
Norm.
Yeah. Yeah, at the moment is, well, it depends. I like, because we're not going to go down into this cavern yet. We can still say we're still with Norm. If she wants to try it on now before you give it to Norm to inspect, it's up to you, Darrow, because before it goes to Norm or goes to her, it's in your possession. So it's your call.
I would wait till we heard what it was, and then we might know who best have it. But if you wish it, but there are items that sometimes it is best to know what it is. For example, if it had multiple wishes on it, then we might want to share it between us, the wishes.
But it's shiny. It's shiny. It's shiny. Can I just try it on?
She tries it on.
I could try it on?
You want to try it on?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it on. I'm
Okay.
gonna put it on my middle finger.
Okay, give me a minute to find a table to roll it on then.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Bye.
It has been known for wizards to play tricks on their enemies and present them with a beautiful gem, a beautiful jewel, only for their recipient to find that they're suddenly stricken with weakness or diseases. It may not be wise to put an unknown item on your finger.
But it's shiny.
Well, you guys have got a few minutes to talk it out because I need to find the tables.
Corona's got it in their hands, but it's shiny.
Right, I've got some random tables. Is she putting it on?
Totally up to the character at this point.
Decision time, because I have tables ready to randomly roll what it's going to be.
She puts it on.
Okay, roll 1d6.
This is terrifying.
Roll 1d6. I'll put it on screen.
No! Oh no!
But if you have it now, then when there's a magic item text, it is not your turn.
Okay, now roll 1d20.
1d20. Okay.
If you roll 20 again, it's DM's choice.
12.
Okay, she puts it on.
I turn into a lich.
We will see her.
You still see her, yes. No physical changes you can see. Darrow, Cornaith, Kiara, you don't see anything happen to her. Garona, you don't feel anything.
Okay. I'm gonna take it off.
It comes off.
I'm gonna hand it back to Darrow.
Okay.
We leave
I
it.
didn't do nothing. I didn't even look pretty. Hands it back to him.
In that case, we leave it with Norm.
She's very upset that she didn't look pretty with it on.
Make a little note somewhere in your sheet then, Peter, if you don't mind, just that it's with Norm. Because I'll remember, but we'll just to be sure. So you've left that with Norm, okay? But I'll remember what that is. I don't need to make a note. That's brilliant.
Let me get my character sheet up. I want to say initial party. No, that's not under special abilities and attacks. It's under other items of value. Party. Initial party ring with Norm. Initial party dagger lent to Yara.
Okay, nice. And I've adjusted Kiara's character sheet so she has a thing to roll her attacks from. I'll do it because she's having problems with Roll20 on her hardware, so I'll do it for her. But her character sheet's ready with that updated dagger +1. This aquatic-looking dagger +1.
Yeah.
Oh God, would I hear that?
He muttered it, so...
How good's your hearing? Yeah, I was gonna do you get any listen bonus as a barbarian?
I don't know.
Not exactly barbarian, remember. Fighter with berserker kit. So not barbarian, but berserker.
With the berserker, I didn't realise it was berserker. I thought it was barbarian.
No,
kit.
not quite. It's the berserker kit from the Fighter's Handbook.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't noticed. I didn't notice Blark actually go berserker. Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, well, we have settled this. We go back down below, I ask others, in a way that expects the answer yes.
Garona, you've got all Blark's memories of being down here and pursuing giant ants and fighting them and fighting giant scorpions, giant beetles.
Okay. How would I as a player know things that he would know? Are you gonna just tell me, or?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I mean, it's only been 3 sessions game-wise. You were sent down here by Norm on this quest to find this lost ring after these giant ants had like broke through from underground into a storeroom and pulled some stuff out of there. He didn't explain why that ring was sitting in some storeroom, but it was, and it's gone. And you're on a mission to find that for him, being paid to find that for him. And Blark was having a great time killing giant ants and had a great time out drinking with Darrow, in fact. That's pretty much been it, like.
Okay.
Like I say, it's only been 3 sessions. They've been down here twice. This is the 3rd visit down.
Shall we go down? Slimes her hand on the table.
Hello, looks at Kiara and Ornaith, hoping to see a sign of agreement.
Now, Norm will give you, because it was a couple of days again for... So you got your axe back from Torm, but Norm's given you a couple more potions. So the same ones as before, the healing potions. 2d6 hit points each. He'll give you 4 of them. There's 4 of you, he'll give you another 4.
So do we all get one, or?
That's how we did it. Last time it was 2, but we all get 1 each, and that way.
We get split up.
Yes. So I'm the party healer. I'm also. I look at Kiara again. Before I and Garona have been in the front rank. You are a bard of some sort, and I assume you would rather not be in the front rank. Is that right? I ask.
Yeah, I think.
And enchanters such as yourself, Cornet, assume again that you want others to be in the front to protect you whilst you cast spells for us. Cornet?
Paul?
Let us go down.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
Okay,
So Garrett starts heading towards the hole in the ground.
okay, you go through past the 4 guards again, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Again, the passage down, the short passage down is torchlit. Now, as far as light sources down here, what are you using this time? Because previously Polly had a lantern.
We have half orc, dwarf, elf.
Everyone has improvision, yeah.
Covers what?
A half
Half
elf.
elven.
Oh no,
Okay.
yeah. So limited improvision, isn't it? Quickly check.
I have good direction sense. Though.
We want to light lit when we go. Will show us some things
Oh no,
that
half elven improvision enables them to see up to 60 feet in darkness. Everyone has the 60 feet improvision.
we didn't think of bringing a light.
Well,
So,
it's a good job you all have 60-foot improvision. As you're coming through the passage, at the sconces where the torches are on the walls, you would notice spare torches lying against the wall in stacks. If you wanted a couple of torches, it would not be a problem to take a couple.
we took one. It would be for one of the people in the second rank to come carry. Do either of you want to take a torch in case we need it?
Don't mind carrying a torch.
I've seen Cornet comment. Do we want one lit for now? Or do we want to go in the dark for now? I can't quite remember what we may not see under. I suppose we can't, for example, we meet something that needs to be read.
Paul's typed in chat that he has 5 torches in his bag just in case of a need.
Okay.
Okay, so on the note of what can and can't be seen with infravision, Ryan, which infravision do you use? Do you use the basic DMG definition of infravision, where you see just as well in the dark as you do in the light, up to a certain
You do,
distance,
yeah,
or
up to 60 feet. If it's got a source of body heat, yes.
Okay, so you use the optional heat sources.
Well, yeah, if it's a ghost or something that has no heat source, then yeah, your infravision won't work.
Okay, then, I mean, yeah, if we need to read something, we would need a...
Yeah, to read you would need a light. It's a heat source, yeah. Infravision's a heat source. But I give you no penalties on... Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're fighting against something using your infravision, you can see it fully, but it's from heat that you get it.
Right, that is one thing I like to clarify with the DM, which version they use, because there is the optional rule that it's the heat source, or there's the basic where things within provision see as well in the dark as they do in the light, but only up to 60 feet, whereas opposed in the daytime, they can see unlimited.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've got full vision at 60 feet unless it's a cold thing.
But I'm thinking if we needed to read something, because it's two things at the same temperature.
Yeah.
We read it or not?
Without a light source, I mean, your infravision, it's not strictly just a heat source. You've got a vision that, and you use the heat to see things moving around. But yeah, you've got a certain level of vision in the dark. Your dwarves and elves and all these races that have lived subterranean for generations. Yeah, it is an ability to see in the dark to a certain extent.
So, assuming someone's got something to light a torch with, and we'll assume, I think necessarily we'll get it off Norm, but rather than waste time checking all your equipment.
Yeah, you would easily just get torches, anything like that. If you wanted a lantern or a lamp, Norm would give you one.
actually now see flint and steel is part of my equipment.
Anything like that, any basic items Norm would be able to give you and would welcome you to have. Anything like that. Lamps, lanterns, torches, anything like that you wanted. Like Garona saying she wanted to swap a ladder for a rope, no problem at all. Anything like that.
In that case, it seems to make sense that initially we go down with all the characters having their hands free from having to carry a lighting source.
Yes.
And then if we need one, we can get one.
Exactly, yeah.
We can make one.
Exactly.
Okay. We've solved that problem, so we're just going down using our infravision without a light source.
Okay, now the first cave and the second one, if you go through, have nothing new of interest in them.
Yes, yeah, I would have checked, because Darrow's the sort of thing, he'll explain, this is where we fought the first ads, blah, 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 and there were ones over there, he'll check over in case his infravision shows up. He says, this place, we killed everything, but in case there are things which may come up and ambush us from behind, let us just quickly check there are no creatures here.
Yep.
And then we come back the third there's two exits from the first cave, so we go into the second cave, confirm there's nothing there, come back, then we go into the third cave. Are you going to bring that map up?
Corinth is willing to follow your lead. He has not been here before, so he's not going to attempt to give any direction.
Darrow, having been through here before, and Garona, you're able to check where you've been, and clear behind you, knowing that there's nothing of danger behind you. There was some of the remains of the corpses that you left were there. Some have been somehow are not there. You don't know how, but you know.
Salvage.
Sorry.
The heads. Salvage.
No, you took the original heads away. The only head of any insect that's died that you didn't take was buried.
Okay, so we've got payment for ever many beetles we killed in this cave.
Yes.
But it's not yet been recorded.
Yes.
We'll work that out later. Then, as we go along, with our infravision, we do check for signs of things. As we go along, I'm moving my character, but assuming other people are advancing with me.
I'll move Kiara and Tegan, because Tammy can't use the stuff in Roll20 just now.
Yeah.
So that's your new Elven Gypsy Bard and her dog are behind you, Darrow. Alex, you're okay to move Garona's token? Everything works for you, yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Were you able to move Verona up level with Darrow, assuming that's wanting to keep in party order?
Well, that's about a good place to stop them, Darrow. So bring Garona up next to Darrow, yeah?
Alex, are you able to move? Oh, there we are. Yes.
I can't see your token name or like bar. I can see Tegan's HP also.
Who can you not see?
I believe it's Peter's.
Okay.
Is Darrow here?
Yeah, I can't see Darrow's
1 second,
name
I can
or
fix it.
HP bar. And I can see the numbers on Tegan's.
Tegan's your dog, so you. Oh no, yeah, I see what you were getting players confused. Sorry.
It happens. First session together. No worries.
Yeah, I can see the numbers on Tegan and on none of the other characters. And I can see health bars.
But
I
no
bet
numbers.
check Darrow or put Darrow back up to full hit points.
I can see Darrow's HP, numbers, and bar.
That's
I
fine.
can see
Oh, I mean-
Tegan's HP and numbers.
Mhm.
Koroneth and Kiara, I can't see the numbers, but I can see the health bar.
So the first two numbers are armor class and hit points. And I'm trying to remember what the third number is.
Here, I'll
Very
post
cool.
a picture.
There you go. Now I think I've fixed everyone. You should be able to see the numbers and the bar for everybody, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, good. Then, as we have this bridge here, is where we.
Now, as you get to there, Peter, I'm going to stop your characters on the map. As you get into sight of that, you see something coming around the corner here. I'm not going to get you to roll surprise because you were all coming through cautiously and you've been through this bit, some of this bit before. But you see, looking up,
Flying.
yep,
With
flying,
bats.
flying above the water and coming towards you. They're maybe a little bit big, actually, the tokens. Sorry, they maybe represent a little bit bigger than they should. Give me a second. More like that. Giant bats, yeah. And they're clearly, like everything else, all these giant insects, giant everything else that's been down here, they're clearly hostile. And I'm going to ask you all to roll initiative.
I have my axe 2 ready to wield. Oh, changed it. You've even changed it back to being Holy Axe whilst I
Yeah.
wasn't paying.
What number is it, Ryan?
Sorry? Oh, can you roll it, can you?
Yeah.
Right, so it's the weapon speed on that table, so it's the last dice on the right-hand side of the thing. Click your token first, though, for it to automatically come up in the turn tracker. So if you highlight your token, oh, you can't move the token, right? Okay, just roll it then.
No.
Yeah, that's fine, just roll it.
Wait.
So then I'll just add them manually. So Peter, 7. Did you roll for his axe there, Peter? Yeah? Ah, you did.
Mhm.
Cornaith, what have you rolled for? Paul, what's Cornaith?
Well,
rolled for?
I use the initiative button in the spells on the character sheet, but apparently it doesn't tell you that it's for a spell. That's interesting.
That's fine. Just as long as you tell me, that's fine, mate. As long as I know what the number is.
Yeah, it's for a spell.
I'll roll for the dog.
That's just really interesting that it doesn't whisper what spell it is when it has you enter all that info in the freaking
I know.
boxes and whatnot. But for everything else, it tells you what the roll is.
Yeah. At some point in
Now,
this room, we on the Tattooey Tavern, it's something you can mention.
yeah. Oh, a quick word to Alex then, who's a new player in my game, and Paul as well, I guess. So for weapon speed for second attacks, for example, Garona, she's dual wielding, so she has 2 attacks every first. She has 2 every first and 3 every second, so she always has at least 2 attacks if she's using her axes. What I do for weapon speed on multiple attacks, Alex, is you do your roll as normal, like you've done there, so it's your dice roll plus the weapon speed. for a second attack, add the weapon speed again. Does that make sense?
So, what?
So you rolled a 5 plus 7. So 7's the speed of the weapon, yeah?
Yeah.
So you'd add 7 again to get your second attack.
Well, if your second attack is on the
So
19,
your second attack's on the 19.
and in the even rounds, when you get 3 attacks, the third attack will be on the 26.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to need you to roll.
So that way, say for example, right? Because some people will say, right, if you have multiple attacks, your extra attacks go at the end of the round. I've seen a lot of DMs do that. I don't like that because, say you've got darts, right? And you know those are 3 per round and they're super, super fast. It makes sense that if you've got a really good initiative roll, you can whip off 3 darts before the guy with the big 2-handed warhammer can even get in one swing. It makes sense. So, for you to throw 1 dart right at the end of the round and then all these guys with 2-handed swords and casting all these big powerful spells, and you don't get your second and third dart until after all that, doesn't seem to make sense for me. So the weapon speed kind of staggers your attacks at the speed of your weapon. For me, it makes sense.
Okay.
So we have an initiative order around there. Cornaith, what was he casting? What spell? Remind me please, Paul, what spell he's casting?
There you go.
There you go. Cast sleep. So when a wizard casts a sleep spell, he causes a comatose slumber to come upon 8 hit dice of creatures. So that was a nice roll. Maximum, you rolled 2d4 and got 2 4s. So,
Yeah.
creatures... Is there a save on this? There is, isn't there? Saving throw none.
No.
Saving throw none. It's just the number of hit dice that you roll. Fall unconscious or sleep.
And they're safe for rounds or until they take damage.
Ooh, you knocked one. Oh, you knocked 2 out.
Keeping an eye out.
He
Oh,
knocked
you
them all out. What a roll, Paul. Nice first roll of my game, mate. Welcome.
Right?
Welcome, mate. Nice roll.
Now, see, everybody loves the damaging wizard, but
So-
what damaging wizard at first level could incapacitate 3 enemies?
In fact, your first roll was your initiative, and that's the one that's turned it into not even a 1-round combat, but a first attack combat. Because you
Yeah.
have all 3 of those ants, they will, while still in the air, they are rendered magically unconscious. And as you see on the map, they are above water, so they go, and they hit the water and they drown. And it's good night Vienna for all 3 of them.
Yeah.
You effectively killed 3 creatures in 1 attack.
In the first...
Hello, Will. Whilst keeping an eye out, because quite a few times they've come in waves of more than one. Oh, sorry, more than one wave.
Uh-huh.
Davo. Well, hold on. Let's. Are we still under initiative? Because if so,
No, mate, I've taken it away. It's gone.
okay. In that case, Davo, by being wary, will advance to the bridge and be able to ready to cleave the bodies just in case they are unconscious. It may not be immediately obvious whether they're awake or whether they're unconscious or dead. Your
Well,
power is greater than that of the lass who was with us before. Avo comments towards Cornaith.
And as you look at him, you see he's kind of hunched over and breathing a little bit heavy, and he says, "Yes, unfortunately, it takes quite a bit from me. I'm not extremely powerful yet.
As long as you do not, as long as your magic is controlled and you do not turn into an ant like she did.
I make no promises, but to this day, my spells have never had an unexpected effect. They've always done exactly what I've planned them to do.
Well, that one certainly did.
That is how my spells are. They should, it is best this way. And Cornaith does look young, doesn't he?
As elves go, yeah.
Say, if Darrow thinks about it, he realizes that Cornaith is probably older than him.
Yeah.
I mean, if asked, he'll tell you straight out he's 114 years old.
Yeah, there you go. Was Darrow 65 or something?
I think 66, but yes.
He's a young dwarf.
Yes. He's still sort of set and bearded and as you expect of dwarves. So with the previous people, 63.
63.
The previous people, he's been used to calling them all lad because he is older, or lass because he's older than them. If Cornaith corrects a lad, he'll try to do it. But elves not having beards, etc., they obviously look deceptively young. So
I mean, on top of that, he's a pretty boy. I'm not gonna lie. He has to be an enchantment.
Yes. Yes. Well, Darrow will will try and collect the 3 corpses without going into the water himself, because we might be able to get a reward for the heads.
Okay, now the bridge, like I said, it's just laid across from the dirt to the dirt on one side, so there's no height between the bridge and the water, bar a couple of inches, really. So, you want to reach down into the water with your hand?
With my axe.
With your axe? Okay,
Pull them towards me and...
yeah, I would say that you certainly would be able to make an attempt at fishing them out with your axe without going into the water. You need to bear with me just a moment though. I'm going to nip to the bathroom right before we do that, okay? So 2 minutes, I'll be back. Where is everyone else in the cavern when Darrow is trying to fish out these giant bats from the water?
How deep is the water?
Not very, like, ranging from okay, so I'll ping on the map here, going to maybe 1.5 feet at the most, 18 inches.
Can Grona get down there and pick them out of the water?
Yes, she certainly
Alright.
could.
Grona's gonna do that.
Okay, so Darrow and Corona roll surprise.
Oh, fuck. 1d10. 9.
Okay, Darrow, 10. Sound okay, so no surprise for either of you. In fact, Cornaith, where you're standing, I want you to roll surprise too. Nice. Nice rolls, guys. Paul, you are just rolling like a machine today, mate. Well done. Right, 2 seconds then, guys.
I mean, that'll all change the first rock that he tries to throw.
Jumping out of the water, you see the 3 of you. This big elongated head and neck comes jumping out of the water at you. This big giant, quite obviously snake head, and it comes up from the water. Its jaws wide open. Its jaws the size of your head. Roll initiative.
terrifying.
Hmm.
Alright.
Everybody roll initiative, even though Kiara and Tegan didn't see it. Excuse me. I'll get you guys to roll initiative as well, please.
Spelled the wrong die there. Hold on.
Oof, that wasn't such a good roll. How's it plus 11 for the weapon speed, Paul? That can't be right.
Because a staff sling has a speed of 11.
Does it? Holy shit.
The funny part is, it doesn't throw bullets. It only throws stones or stink pot.
Mm-hmm.
But the stones do the same damage as a bullet from a regular sling.
That's right.
We still aiming for 9 break.
9 a break, yeah.
It's just so I can put the wee man to bed.
Absolutely, 5-10 minutes in 30 minutes.
Right.
You've rolled the wrong dice there, Tammy. It's initiative. So what's she doing? Tell me what her and the dog are doing, in fact.
Back or way?
You're back here. Can you see the map on my stream?
Yeah, I'm looking at
So you're
Right.
here. The guys are here. And a giant snake's come lunging at them. You don't see anything happening yet apart from the guys, like, jumping into stands with swords in hand or whatever. Except none of you guys use a
Okay,
sword.
I would move further up.
Uh-huh.
Right up. Yeah, but I've got
You have,
Go
enough,
up and-
you have enough movement to get to up here and have an attack. So do you want to roll initiative for a weapon?
yeah.
Okay, so you've got dagger, dagger +1, and dart. Dart's the thrown weapon.
Can I use that dagger +1?
Yeah, but that's a melee weapon, so you'd have to go up right next to it to fight it. That's not a throwing weapon. Throwing
I was
dagger-
just asking.
Yeah, throwing daggers are different. So that is a dagger for fighting hand to hand. You have darts as well for throwing.
So I'm on my
Sorry.
dart.
These darts thrown average more damage than the two daggers.
And darts is weapon speed 2. So it's generally pretty fast.
Um,
And you get 3 per round also.
Given that choice, I would recommend darts.
Well, remember you
I think I would use them.
Okay. Now remember, one of your abilities as a bard is you have the bardic inspiration. You can play your instrument to give everybody +1 on the rolls. But the specification of that is you have to know when you're walking into a situation. You have to know the situation you're walking into. So when it's like a surprise combat like this, you can't use that. But you want me to roll initiative for you for the darts, yeah?
So, and I was trying to appreciate everybody.
That's alright.
Oh,
I've got your
Yeah.
character sheet here, so it just takes me 2 minutes to roll for you.
yeah. Great. Could hear me.
Yeah, we hear you. Okay, and what's the dog going to do, Tammy?
Well, I would want him, or would assume that he would go up in front of me slightly,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think I would want him to try and attack just now because it might hurt him.
Well, I'll roll for weapon speed for attack anyway, so that's when he moves, and if he does, he's got his attack. Now, let me reorder it. So, guys, the order there, we've got Garona has her 2 attacks, Kiara has her 3. Yeah, right, there's your initiative order. So, Garona, it's you first. You are ankle deep in water, and this giant snake's got a head in a few feet of neck sticking out of the water and it's jumping at you. What are you gonna do?
It's still over here.
Yeah. Well, you're moving before it. It's just popped out of the water at that point.
Yeah. Is this Can Kiara see over this?
No, that's solid wall up to the roof.
Okay. So she has no idea what's going on.
No.
Yeah, no, can I move up further?
Not until it's your turn, though. No.
So-
That's the thing. As this has happened, you're back there, so all you'll see is the guys getting
Gonna
ready.
yell, "Snake!" How far can I move? I can move 30 feet.
You can move up to. Yeah. No. You're a half orc, so it's up to 60 feet and still have an attack.
I'm gonna move, 20 feet, and I'm going to attack.
Ah.
Okay. Now the water gets a little bit deeper as you get in. Now you are up to about waist height there. You see on the map there where it kind of gets a darker green. Picture that as the water getting deeper. So even as a big tall half orc, you're probably up to your waist. And by there I have to give you -1 on any attack rolls.
Okay.
In fact, yes. I forgot about something, but then I remembered about something.
Alright, so hopefully this does it right. I did a -1. So...
There you go.
Oh, I did it correctly. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, roll damage because it's enough to hit the snake.
Is it medium or large?
Well, let me double check. 2 seconds.
It doesn't matter. It's the same damage.
My
okay.
favorite thing is giant rats that are actually tiny.
11 damage with my axe.
Nice. Well. You certainly take a lot of damage out of it. The snake recoils as it's lunging towards you. Before it makes its attack, you get this serious slashing blow right down the length of it, and you cut it open. You see lots of blood splattering out across the length of it. You almost could swear you saw some internal organ pieces or something coming out there as well. You've really, really, really hurt it. And Kiara, it's her turn.
Okay.
So
Move
you can move up.
further.
You can move up to 60 feet before attacking.
Yeah.
So that's as close as you can be on this side while still being not in the water. So it depends how much further you want to go. Now, if you get within 10 feet...
Can swim.
You can swim, yeah. But the water's not that deep. If you get within 10 feet, then you don't have any penalty on your attack rolls when using darts. Anything above 10 feet is medium and long range. You have a penalty to the attack roll for distance. So you'd have to get to like there if you wanted to take a shot with your darts without suffering a penalty on it. Understand?
The thing to be aware of, obviously, is if the snake's in water, we may not be able to recover your darts.
That's an interesting point.
If I'm gonna throw at it and it's in the water, if I'm aiming to hit it, I'm not gonna be getting them back anyway.
Generally, you'd be able to collect darts back. Because they're solid little metal things, I let players collect darts, but in the water it might be a different story. Arrows are different. If you use 6 arrows, I'll make you roll 1d6 to see how many you can recover. Because some of them will break, some of them will be totally blunt and beyond use, but some of them will be alright. Do you know what I mean? You'll loose an arrow, it'll miss and it'll just slide along the ground and it won't be broken. So arrows are recoverable sometimes. Darts, I'd say, are always recoverable, unless in a situation where you're going to lose them, like potentially in the water.
You have another set of darts.
Yeah, you took 6 when you took your initial equipment, didn't you? So you have like 2 full sets.
Yeah. I'll go into the...
You use 2 full sets in 2 rounds of combat.
Yeah, cross that bridge when you come to it.
Yeah.
So,
Other weapons as well. A dog.
so you wanted to move it to within 10 feet, Tammy, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a sensible thing to not have penalties. So, the water's only ankle deep. Because you can see there, it's like a lighter bluey grey on the map. Where it is on the map, just visualise it like that. Where it's lighter, the water is shallower. So, no penalty on your attack rolls. Now, you need me to roll them for you. No, you can roll attack rolls, can't you? Yeah, go ahead and roll it if you can.
I can.
You can. Okay. 2 seconds. You missed. Darrow.
I'm just looking at. Oh, I can just about get onto there and be within hitting distance of it
Yes.
because the depth there, if it's up to Verona's waist,
It's going to be nipple height at least on you.
yes.
So there, yeah.
So
there's a dry bit
I'm
of
going-
ground.
It's a dry bit of ground, so,
Yep.
so I'm going to try to, hoping that this isn't very deep
Okay.
at that point,
Okay, well,
move over.
okay then. You can move there and still get your attack, because that's 30 feet exactly. So move him there. But what I would say is, because it is this murky, slimy water, that's the full 30 feet, so you are using your full movement speed to get there and still attack. So I'll say make a dexterity save versus slipping in the slimy water. So roll d20 versus dexterity.
Getting a dwarf to save its dexterity.
Good luck.
Here we are. Here's the character sheet. My dex is average. Here is D20.
Ooh,
Smash!
you slip. Okay, so you make it, and because it's half your movement rate, I'll say that you're not going to lose your attack next round, but it's taking the rest of the round to get up. So get in there, you slip and you slide, but you manage to get back up to your feet. You don't provoke an attack of opportunity from the snake, but you'll not get the attack this round.
Well, why didn't you let it come to us, lads?
Okay, so it's the dog, Tammy. What do you want the dog to do?
He would probably me up. How far does he get the same movement as everybody else?
He's got the same movement rate as you, yeah. Darrow has half movement rate of everybody else.
Okay. I would get him to come up as far as not into the water though. He can move onto that bit of island in the middle.
Yeah, he might be able to get across a bit, yeah.
Yep, no problem. And just that's it for the round, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's your second shot.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling it for you again. And you missed again. But 2 steps in initiative later, it's 14, it's your third attack. And you've hit it this time. Okay, so I'll get roll damage for you. Now it is only still considered a medium creature, although it's long, like 10 to 15 feet long. With all the coiled upness, it's like 1 square size. It's a small to medium creature, so it's 1d3 damage. Two damage. You can see that it's on death's doorstep.
Good.
Now I think my camera's froze on stream again. Bear with me 2 minutes, guys. I'm really sorry about this. There we go. Fixed. Sorry, guys.
You are A-okay.
Okay, Okay, so where were we? Garona has a second attack this round. Now this snake is clearly already on death's doorstep.
Garona is going to do what Garona does, and she's going to swing her battle axe and attempt to cleave it. And as she brings it down across her, Oh!
Okay.
As she brings it down across her.
Wait, because I have house rule for crits, so it can be extra good. So roll 1d4. Okay, so it's just a normal critical hit, right? So yeah, roll your damage first, and then I'll let you describe the kill, okay? So 30 damage, right? Now consider when you're describing it, it had 1 hit point left, okay?
Oh, all right, hold on. Let me stand up. I gotta get in character here.
Oh, nice one.
So as Garona's bringing her right battle axe down across her chest, she's slams it down, and she brings her right arm all the way down, elbow crossing over her left knee, as she cleaves this snake eel thing in half, and you can hear the might of her tribe as she takes it down into her diaphragm, and she just makes a kind of evil, guttural death cry
Yes.
of her tribe, as she totally brings as much might of her exceptional 1875 strength that she has and cleaves this in half.
Nice. So she splits it like full on long ways, cuts it down long ways like a sausage. Nice. Nice kill. Nice introduction to the game for a new old character. She's doing Blark style, obliterating things, but she's doing it her own way. I love it. So yeah, you kill it.
You need its head, says Dara.
Would I have cleaved its head clean off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. As he says that, Garona's gonna reach down, transfer her other axe so she's got 2 axes in one hand.
I mean, a picture.
Reaches down, grabs its head.
Well, the nature of that critical hit. Picture it had 1 hit point and you hit it for 13. So picture the snake in an S shape, right? Picture an S and then cutting down that S in a straight line. So she's cut it. She's cut it into 3 kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
So it was like so here's the head and then here's the body.
Yeah.
And she just cleaved it right like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
exactly,
man,
yeah. So
she's
she's done that.
dope. Okay, that's pretty dope.
So it's in 3 pieces. The head being one of them.
She's gonna pick up the head piece, and she's going to hold the head up, and she's gonna raise the 2 battle axes above her head, and is this what you need?
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Dara will look at what seems to be the safest route back to the mainland.
If you just take it a bit slower, you'll be all right. Like, it was only because you were going full speed that I made you make the check.
It is. So Laura looks to obey. No, it's Kiara I need to look at. It's too deep for me to search for your darts in there, lass. He says. And no one's been wounded in either of these encounters yet,
That's
have they?
correct. Yeah, no one got hit.
Oh shit, that's right.
It's been like the players have absolutely smashed it so far.
Yeah. Oh. So Arrow's interested in having heads collected so that we can get the bounty on them.
So you took the... Well, you've still got the 3 giant bats are still in the water, remember, here. Garona has the head of the snake. but the 3 giant bats were all still here in the water.
Oh, I would have handed it to Darl.
Garona, can you roll me a perception check? Perception being the average of your intelligence and wisdom.
Yeah. Dope. Let me.
I'll move, in case it's fairly quick, I'll move Darrow back to where he was after his first crossing.
Right, okay.
8
Garona,
versus 10.5.
when you're in the water with the snake, you feel one of the darts against your foot. If you go down to pick it up, you'll quite easily find the other 2. If you choose to pick them up, I want you to roll the same check again, but with a +2 bonus this time. So effectively -2. So on the dice roll, there you go. Now, does that beat your intelligence and wisdom average? No, it doesn't, because it was 10.5. Yeah, round up, so 11. So that just makes it, okay? So when you're down in the water collecting the 3 darts, you manage to get all 3 darts back for Kiara. You find something else in the water. Something long, hard, and possibly wooden.
Ooh,
Like-
hard wood. Corona is gonna grab it.
Okay, you grab it and it's hand sized, like a weapon, like a staff, like a weapon shank, like a sword handle, like a spear, like anything that kind of size, like even like a brush or a broom. Do you pull it up?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit stuck just because of this water. Like I say, it's murky and dirty and a little bit swampy. But with your strength, it's no problem. After a jiggle, it comes up, and what you hold in your hands is a spear. And I've got a picture.
Right, Cornelia? You know my player characters long enough. Like you've known my PCs long enough that most of them always have a dark, dirty sense of humor.
But not the one not the one that I'm playing with in
That's only because that stupid paladin. I'm really upset I made a paladin, but can't be her devious.
Guys, if you
Self.
if you look at notes on the right, I've just made a note available for you guys to see. This is the spear you find.
the right.
On the right hand side, you see notes. You see strange spear. You should be able to see the picture.
Yeah, I got that up on stream right now.
On which screen?
So on Roll20, you see on the same place where you would find your character sheet, if you scroll down to notes, you'll see strange dagger. Sorry, strange spear. Sorry, strange spear. My bad.
Ah, okay. Now I know
See
where.
that? And Tammy, do you see that on stream?
See it.
You see a spear, again, made of shells, corals, things like that. Unlike that picture, it's incredibly sharp, so that picture maybe doesn't convey the sharpness of it. And it's ornate as well, like that, made up of organic material, like the dagger that you found before.
Be very useful when we meet a rust monster.
Yes, there's no metal involved in it at all. I never thought of that, Peter. Found a nice token for rust monsters today.
If it means
Hello,
anything,
we're very keen on rust monsters.
No.
My feet can verify the sharpness that seashells can attain.
Yeah, exactly, me too. In fact, have you ever seen someone making an oyster knife? Like oyster shells and clam shells and all these things. When you like file these down, this is like the sharpest thing, by the way.
Yeah, they are wicked.
Yeah, like crazy, crazy sharp.
Right.
So you found yourselves a spear. Garona has found this spear. Now, for the new guys, Paul, Tammy, and Alex, this is 2 hours through 4 hours. So we stopped for 5 minutes just to make sure everybody's had the bathroom, grabbed a snack and a drink and everything.
All right.
So there's 2 hours of game left. We will stop here for 5 minutes, make sure everybody's ate and everything. I put a little be right back message up on Twitch, and we reconvene in whenever you're ready. If it takes more than 5 minutes, it takes more than 5 minutes. But this is our break now, okay? So yeah, you recovered this spear. You all saw the picture, yeah?
Yeah. Yes.
Also, Kiara's 3 darts were recovered. All by Garona.
Yeah. Garona is going to hand Kiara her darts and be like, You might need these. Are you smaller than Garona? Are you shorter than Garona?
Definitely.
Very much, yeah.
Definitely.
She's like a little.
I'm
gonna-
5'4".
I'm gonna stand next to you, look down at you, and hand you the darts. You might need these, little one. And then hands you the darts, and then pats you on the head, and then bends down, pats the dog on the head, and then walks out of the water.
I love it.
Thank you,
Okay.
Garona.
Grona will then have the spear and show it to the 2 intelligent ones. Daro and Coronea.
Yes. So, let us shout the heads of those bats so we can get for the bounty on them. And then I can explain what is here, says Darrow to the others. People okay with that?
She's going to go and get the bats. I'll get them. I'm much taller, much stronger.
Okay, I'll let her do that. And then for Nathan, the other who haven't been here before, I point out what the corpse of the ant still seems to be there. And I say, last magician, she was turned into an ant. And then attacked us. And that is her body. We also found here a corpse of a halfling. So a halfling and ant. We search for any treasure halfling might have before.
Yeah, you did. You only found that ring on him, and remember, one of the bags contained the 3 potion bottles.
God, yeah, we found the potion bottles, which obviously were forgotten about.
Yeah, you didn't get those identified, did you? 2 of them were red liquid, similar colour to the healing potions you've had before. They were smaller bottles, but they looked very similar, 2 of them, to what you've had as healing potions, and one of them was the same size, smaller, but it was a different colour liquid, and it was like a cloudy, milky white.
Right, well, you want to retcon stuff to do with them so we can now cover what they were? Are we saying that I was flustered and forgot? Therefore, we'll have to. Oh yes, we got these here.
I can
Do
quite.
you want to even say they were on Bride? Oh, no, Bride was already there.
That's right. No,
Would you
I'm
say that-
quite happy to retrospectively sort that out, because everything has been up in the air. We're losing 3 out of 4 players, so it's alright to, like, you know, to wave over things a little bit to just smooth everything out. So retrospectively, you were having things identified anyway, so I would say, yeah, you could have them identified, right? And they were identified as 2 smaller healing potions. They're 1d8 healing potions, the 2 of them.
Yes.
And the white potion is a potion of speed, as per the player's handbook.
Right. So And this again would be the only characters who are here and are still here on the time are
You and Blark. Blark is
Yeah.
now Garona, but yeah, your old drinking buddy who's now a female.
So I suggest we have one healing potion each.
Well, you are the front line also, so
Yes, so we have one each. And
everybody has one of the 2d8s. Sorry, the 2d6s. Or were they 2d8s? I don't remember. You have it
Yeah.
written down. But you also now have one 1d8 each.
yes. So I will you're hearing this, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, so we write on. So I'll write a 1d8 potion on my character
Yep.
sheet, and you do that on yours.
Yep. So Alex, add to Garona's character sheet one more healing potion, but this one is 1d8. So one use healing potion for 1d8 points.
Okay.
That was stuff you previously found. The guys previously found. We didn't identify. We were retrospectively identifying it because he was in identifying things anyway.
2d6 was the other one, wasn't it? Healing potion.
2d6 they were, yeah. The ones you got from Marcus.
And then the potion of speed. Can it be? Are we able to explain it in a way that Rhoda will understand?
Sure. It's a potion. When you drink it, everything you do is faster. You will attack twice as fast. You will kill twice as many giant ants. That's what you would need to tell her, I guess.
And because I don't hit so often, I'm willing to treat her.
You're doubling more attacks when you give it to her, aren't you?
Yes.
You're doubling 3 every 2 rounds instead of...
Darrow, being pragmatic, is willing for Garona to be the one who has the option of using that axe. So I suggest you carry this, drink it when I say it is a good time.
There we go. So add a potion of speed to her inventory also then, Alex.
Okay. OOC. What does it do?
Potion of speed, it doubles your attack rate and your movement rate and improves your initiative as well, I believe, Peter.
I'm used to generally playing first edition, but I
Give me a
know
Is
know
this
second
the-
edition it added some.
Is this the 2 bottles of red liquid and the bottle of cloudy white liquid?
Yes.
Yes,
Alright, so delete those off my sheet then.
Yes.
yes. So
Potion of
so
speed.
the
Increases the movement and combat capabilities of the imbiber by 100%. Thus, a movement rate of 9 becomes 18, and a character normally able to attack once per round attacks twice. This does not reduce spellcasting time, however, use of a speed potion ages the individual by 1 year. The aging is permanent, but the other effects last for 5d4 rounds. So your speed and your attack speed are doubled for 5d4 rounds, and you age 1 year.
I forgot about the aging, which for the half orc is more serious than for the dwarf.
Very much so.
It obviously it's whether that gets mentioned in the explanation given to the party as to what the item is.
So would I know that I would age?
No.
But the party weren't told.
If you weren't told, you
About
wouldn't know. Unless you had like an alchemist in the party, and they probably need to be a little bit experienced anyway to know that kind of thing, then no, you're not going to know that kind of thing about a potion.
Okay, so I'm gonna forget that player knowledge.
Yeah, for roleplay's sake, yeah. Player knowledge, character doesn't have that knowledge.
Yes. In that case, I would be just thinking about, oh, he may be, if there's a big combat, he may be needing to do healing, and it's best for our specialist warrior to have the speed potion. If he had been aware of the aging effect, he may have been thinking, well, it's less serious if he has the aging effect than Corona,
Yeah.
because he's that sort of
Pragmatic and serious.
That's-
Yeah. Sensible and forward thinking. Yeah, but yeah, you're not player knowledge. You're not gonna have that character knowledge.
Okay.
right. Okay. So anyway, I explain what the two things are here. A bit reluctant to take and head, considering that it was
Former
one
party
of our-
member.
Yeah.
Okay, so you leave
So,
that one.
I'll leave that one. There was a halfling, if we're not totally burdened, and if it looks possible to transfer the halfling without everything totally disintegrating, then I would, on the option of our collecting the body for decent burial.
Okay. It's kind of in bits, but you have a sack that's already full of giant insect body parts. I'd say you'd quite easily be able to scoop it up.
Yeah. We can do that at such a point it won't burden us. And if none of the characters want to ask about what happened last time and what anything further, then Arrow says, "Shall we move on, lads and lasses?"
Corona is going to kind of sheath her. I don't know. Are these sheathed on her sides or like on her back?
Pretty much however you would like to do it.
Awesome, awesome. She's going to kind of let the axes slide out of her hands, so that way her hands are right below the blade, and she's going to sheath them on her back, so the axe blades are like on her shoulder blades.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be all hand on Daro's shoulder. Aye, that sounds like a plan. She's going to push down on you rather hard, not knowing her own strength.
Darrow's probably quite familiar. You'll be quite familiar with that grasp because you've been out for a really good night's drinking when she was still Blark, so you've probably felt that familiar grip on your shoulder anyway, so it's probably quite comforting to you.
Although she's a little bit stronger than she was.
Yeah, the sex change has made her stronger somehow.
But it seems like we're ready to move on. I'm not what. We're progressing around. Arrow is the sort of person who wants the party to progress together. So I don't want to move my figure a long way ahead unless I know.
Well, Tammy, I'm in control of your figures on Roll20, so how do you want me to keep them as the second line? So with Cornaith, wherever he is, yeah?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I will do. So wherever Paul moves Cornaith to, I will keep them in rank with him.
When we go through the narrow bits, you got your bow out. If you got the bow out, maybe it's Darrow who through the narrow bit goes for first because he has his axe out.
Grona will have her axes out.
You do have axes out. Sorry, I thought you were saying the bow.
I sheathed them, and then I brought them out after we did that interaction. Now that we're moving on.
Okay.
I don't have a bow. I don't have a bow yet.
All right. Okay. So we're advancing and it's a matter of, as I say, I'm only moving a little bit because I'm assuming the party is because I'm not wanting my thing.
Now
I figure 7.
I'm assuming now, Peter, because you didn't say, but I'm assuming you're moving cautiously, yeah?
Yeah, and together. So if you can indicate however far we get until you next want to have something happen, we can move our characters there.
Okay, I'll just move you then. Information.
Okay.
To about there.
Right.
Okay, Paul. So, I'll move you to about there, and then I'm going to reveal some map. Alex, I don't have the Pro Roll20, so I don't have all the bells and whistles, so I'm just taking up big square sections.
I'm not. You're good, bro.
And in the far end of your distance, you know, and as far as you can see, you will.
Talking about revealing the map.
Yep.
I don't necessarily see much that I'm not seeing.
What do you mean? Yeah, if you
No.
look,
You
if you look
you
down,
don't see all of this down
look
here.
south.
Yes.
I've revealed a little bit you didn't see before, and you see that there's some more giant bats. Apologies, I've been copy pasted from the bigger one. I will shrink them down a bit. Yeah. So anyway, here's the rest of them.
Oh boy.
Fortunately, being a specialist, you get more than one spell at first level. Yeah, you're going to want us to roll initiative.
Yes, please. Yeah, if everyone could go ahead and decide what they're doing this round and roll initiative, please. Now put yourselves at 60 feet away from them, so... Or I'll move them closer. They're 60 feet away. Because they're the edge of your vision. Roughly.
Man, this is where a mage sucks. You got to make that decision: expend the rest of your spell ability and rely on a ranged weapon, or yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
they're more like that as you see them.
Hey.
Oh, nice roll. Nice roll. Okay, so... That's for your second attack. Tabby, what's Kiara going to do this round?
Darts.
Cool. Okay. So, Peter, you rolled 10 for Daryl. Peter, the reason your guy isn't automatically coming up in the turn tracker, what you're doing wrong, is you need to click on your token so that your token is currently highlighted. You know how it has the little blue squares around them, so that it's highlighted before you go into the character sheet and roll, and then it'll automatically come up.
I'll try to remember.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, it's 2 seconds for me to add it, but that's how to fix it anyway.
Right.
Okay. Oh, so Garona, your first attack was 8. There we go. Right, 2 seconds. Now, I've got the new bonus mechanic. We've not tried it up yet. But if anybody wants to try that, that's it, right? We're trying it. Just to give viewers interaction with the characters. Want to see how that works. Alright guys, so at the start of the round, the bats have rolled the best initiative and they're going to attack you, okay?
Right.
Now, at least one of them, the first one.
Would we be in marching order still, or are we just like random
It'll
here?
be in marching order, so we'll probably
So
we'll have
Daro,
those two characters further forward in the second
yeah.
round. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so more like
because
that.
Corona would always put herself between the squishies and the evils.
Yep, okay, so
So
you're like that. With a bit here on the land, a little gap for a couple of them to get through. Remember, you can't bottleneck them because they fly. Of course.
Yeah.
So the first
Well,
one,
yeah.
the first one's there and it's going to attack Garona. It gets nowhere near you. Now these bats are like 3-4 feet wide. Some of them maybe 5 feet wide in the wingspan. So flying around and flapping around, they do take up quite a lot of space. The second one's going to come up and he swoops down to attack the arrow. And he'll bite into Darrow's shoulder, but get just the armour and not get through it. Not do any damage to him. Another bat comes flying up here. Comes round beside Garona, is going to have a bite at her. Oh. And it goes diving and swooping towards her, completely messing everybody behind her, flying at the wall and taking 1d2 damage. Who wants to roll the 1d2 damage?
Oh, I will.
Yeah,
Can I?
Yeah, she was attacking. It was attacking you, so go ahead. There you go, 2 damage. And that one there will miss its next turn. Let me just mark it. Okay, that was the third. I've got 8 to do, so here's the
not
fourth.
into the ground where the dog can bite it.
Yeah, it smashed its head off the wall and it's dropped to the ground, correct.
Yeah.
So, I have 5 more of these bad boys. This one will be the biggest one. It's going to fly to the same place where that one attempted to attack Garona. It's going to attempt to do the same thing. This one misses wildly again.
Man.
Nowhere near you.
That was almost a nat 1 again.
Almost, eh? This other one. Coming round the side. But this one's going to attack Cornaith. Ooh, now. That is going to be a hit.
Yep.
So let me roll some damage. This could be vital because you're a level 1 mage with very little hit points. So good luck here. This could potentially kill you. Good luck.
I don't see it killing him, but it definitely could knock him out.
He's not dead, but he's certainly unconscious and bleeding out.
Oh no. Oh no 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 no.
Now, the way I do negative hit points, Paul, is it's your constitution. You go to minus whatever your constitution is before you die.
Okay.
Oh no.
When you get healed, if you get healed back up to 0 or more, you're at 1. So even if you're at -1 and you get healed for 12 hit points, you'll only go up to 1. You need to healed again. Because I need to balance out giving you negative hit points. Because giving you negative hit points is a big game breaker if you don't balance it. Eh?
Yep.
Okay, so you are unconscious. What's your constitution?
12.
So you've got 10 rounds.
Oh. Oh no, and Grown was big on killing all the enemies, then deal with the downed people. Because if they were too weak to handle it, then they shouldn't have been in combat. No!
That one's going to ignore the downed Cornaith and attack Kiara. That is a hit, because her armor class is exactly 7. Now, the squishies are getting hit, guys. What are you going to do? Oh, sick damage again. So, Tammy, Kiara takes loads of damage.
Oh no! They're ignoring us. That's not good.
Right.
The last two are not going to attack anyone. They're going to hover back a bit, watching their friends try to pick yous apart. So, Cornaith does nothing. Taking the dog. What's he going to do, Tammy?
How close is he to them?
There's one
There
right behind
is,
him that's on the
behind you.
ground, prone.
Turn round and attack.
Now, it's prone. It's conscious, it's flapping around, so it's not like an almost insta hit. It's not like it's tied down or anything. So it's a +4 on the attack. And I'm rolling it. Now, even though it's half unconscious, half knocked itself out, and it's prone, it's rolling around and it's flapping around, and the dog misses when he tries to bite it. Now, Garona, with your first of 2 this round. Ping me which one you want to attack first of all.
This one.
Okay.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
So Grona's going to take a step back on her left leg and is going to take her battle axe in her left hand and she's going to swing it at the bat on her left.
Oh.
6 or worse AC.
Yes, that's a hit. Give me damage.
As she's cleaving it upon hitting it and feeling the resistance on her blade, she's going to give a guttural scream and does 9 damage across the body.
Dead bat. It drops from the sky. Its head cracking as it hits the hard ground. Its eyes roll back in its head and life is gone from it. I'll move it out the way, just for convenience sake, okay? It's still there, but I'm just moving it for moving the tokens around better. So, Kiara, with the first of your 3 darts. Now, they're all within short range, apart from this one and this one. You would have -2 on your attacks if you tried to hit these ones, but if you're attacking any of the other ones, you don't have the minus on any of the attacks. You see them? You see the map, yeah? I'll zoom in. So you've got behind you this one, which is prone and on the ground that the dog tried to bite and miss. You've got this one that's bit you, that's flying right next to you. And then you've got 3 of them here that are attacking Garona and Darrow. And then there's 2 flying a bit further back. Who do you fancy?
From the one behind me.
The one behind you? As in the one that's on the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or the one that's actually attacked.
Hold on.
Well, that's the thing. One of them is an immediate threat because it's attacking you and just bit you, but the other one is prone and on the ground and it's a much easier thing to hit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the heat of the battle, so quick decision, which one? Next to you or behind you?
Nah.
Sorry?
Nah.
Next to you. Right, okay.
Next.
Okay, roll in. Oh, okay. So, now I need to roll let me quickly check something.
Only a D6.
Yeah, thief rolls d6. And you don't want a 1 here. Can you roll dice from the dice roller, Tammy?
Yeah.
Okay, can you roll a d6, please, and try not to get a 1? You've lost the rest of your attacks for this round, but this is to see if it's going to be a particularly bad fumble, and if you roll a 1, it will be. Okay, so you just lose your attacks for the rest of this round. Now, if you bear with me 2 seconds, I'm just updating some notes so that you can see them. So the couple of house rules that I have made notes for, they'll show up on the right hand side there where the chat is, where the characters are. Okay, so Kiara, you fumble when you drop you drop the dart that was in your right hand that you were going to throw. As you move it from your left hand to your right hand to throw it, you drop all 3 of them from your 2 hands. And you'll lose the rest of them for the attacks for this round. Now, Darrow.
Arrow, he can't cast healing spells on anyone else unless he kills the one that's attacking him.
And this is very logical. It's very Darrow.
Therefore, you know what target he's going
Yeah,
for.
absolutely.
Oops, I clicked the wrong screen. Here is the character sheet. Here is the D20. Here is saying no other modifier. And that is saying not worth bothering to roll damage.
No, that's going to miss it completely. You don't even clip a wing or anything. Okay, so Kiara loses those 2 attacks. Garona, you have your second attack. This is your other hand.
Okay. So as Garona is going to, from her last swing, step forward on her left leg, she's going to quickly bring her body back onto her right leg and does a sweeping blow up and tries to arc at this one here in front of her.
Cool. Good luck.
8.
That's good enough. It's armor class 8. So give me damage.
7 damage. She feels the resistance on her blade. She's going to give a ugh, and slide and slice it in half.
Boom. Yep, gone. Another one drops. Blood splatters on the cavern floor. And it drops away into the water, that one. It's gone. In fact, that's what happened to the 2 of them. That's why I've moved them away from the map. They're in the water. So, that's the end of our round. So if anybody wants to do anything different this round, you need to let me know now so we can change initiative. Darrow, if you're still using the axe, you get a second attack this round, so should I add one?
Yes, please.
There you go. What's the weapon speed? 5, eh?
Yeah.
And Garona will get a third attack this round.
Mm-hmm.
On 22. Kiara, you don't get an attack this round with your darts. You can opt to use a different weapon this round though. So if you wanted to use a different weapon this round, that's fine. You don't lose your attack if you switch weapons. But if you want to use your darts, you take a whole round to recover. Because you fumbled.
The +1 dagger is an option.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll initiative for that
The
then?
magical dagger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Okay, so everyone has their second attacks. Kiara, I can. You got. What did you get? 10. So. Get rid of 2 of them. So that's our turn order for round 2. So the bats attack first. This one, he is no longer prone, but he's not got an attack. See, he's back in the air. I'll go clockwise. This one is going to attack Kiara again. Now, good luck here, Tammy. I hate killing players, like. That's a miss.
It's part.
I'm just kidding,
Oh my
Paul.
god,
I
I
love
really
it.
hope you're playing a game that doesn't.
I'm just kidding, Paul. I love it, mate. It's fine. So going clockwise, that makes this far away one next. So it's going to swoop in, and it's attacking Garona. And that is a miss. Going clockwise again, it'd be this one. It's going to fill the gap and attack Garona. That is a miss. Clockwise again, it's this one. Again, attacking Garona. And missing. And the last one is going to again attack Darrow. Oh, that's... so, yeah, bites into Darrow's armor. Doesn't do enough. Just like one of the ones attacking Garona.
You're about to pardon this round.
Yeah. It's just a thing I like to do. If it hits armor class 10 or better, but then doesn't hit your armor class because your armor class is better than 10, I like to say rather than the attack missing, it was beat by the armor. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Anything above 10 missed, 10 or below, it's the armor. So yeah, you've gone unscathed for that round. Fortunately, that's all that the bats had. Their attacks. We move on to Cornaith. He will lose 1 hit point. You've already done it. Thank you. He's down to -3. Thank you, Paul. Tammy, it's Tegan the dog. Now he's face to face with this one. Now it's hovering and flying, but it's it's trying to attack the dog, so it's hovering and flying at a height where the dog can attack it if you wanted to. Same with any of them. Because of the height of your characters and because of the size of this dog, if you guys can attack it, it can attack it.
Yeah, he'll definitely attack it.
The same one, yeah?
Mm.
Cool.
Get it this time.
Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, you're lucky you've got a good dog. I had a useless dog last time I had a dog when I played. Oh shit, I just noticed it's got serious damage on its bite. I bet it just rolled terrible. it could do 2 to 16. It did 3.
Oh, that is good damage.
Seriously good. It has Taco 19, so it's only ever its attacks are only ever as good as a level 2 fighter, but 2d8 damage on its bite is very strong. And that's against small, medium, and against large.
We're only level 1. The dog's one of the major fighters in the party.
Currently, yeah. It has a better Taco than any of you. Well, you have bonuses for strength and stuff, but flat out. Then Cornaith, yeah, he does. So yeah, he killed that.
It's the first target.
Yeah, Garona, who has 3 attacks this round, gets to pick our first one.
Okay, Garona's first attack is going to do, we'll go left, right, left. She's just gonna favor her left. With her left axe, she's going to kind of cleave down on this one in the middle. So from clockwise, it's gonna be this guy here.
Okay.
And she's gonna cleave at him, and hopefully, let's see how this narrative will go.
Yeah, that's definitely good
Okay.
enough. Give me damage.
So as she brings it down, feels the resistance, and does it go straight through?
Oh
7
yeah,
damage?
yeah. Oh yeah. Go straight through.
Feeling the resistance in it, her battle axe just slicing right through the wings and totally from its left shoulder to its right hip of the bat, it just cleaves it in half and it falls to the ground.
She sliced it diagonally, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Very nice.
She's steadying herself on her left foot, her lead left foot.
Okay, Darrow, you're really being shown how it's done by Garona today, so it's your turn to have 2 attacks this
And
round.
I rolled the wrong thing by mistake there.
I see that.
I will try hitting this time rather than... and obviously it's the same target as last time. Darrow isn't very imaginative about that sort of thing.
He's getting the job done. Oh yeah, definitely that's going to be a hit, mate.
Yes, and it's hand size, so I wrote the wrong thing again. Let me cancel that.
Yeah, medium sized.
And there we are. And it's going to want me to admit. And so that should be enough. Yep.
So very much in the style of Garona, but this time with a 2-handed axe. The dwarf, not to be outdone, slices a bat of his own in half.
Yeah.
Now, Kiara, you are attacking with the dagger +1. Now, that is this one here is the one that was attacking you that's right next to you. So you attack that one, yeah? Cool. I'll just roll it for you.
Oh, good.
You hit it. For max damage.
And it's gone.
And before you can even pull your dagger out from this giant bat that you've stabbed in the face, before you can even pull your dagger out, it starts dropping. And as you get your dagger out, it's hitting the ground. Crack. Another one gone. Garona with her second attack of the round.
Alright, she's going to, let's see, the left hand. She's going to hit with her right arm as she sweeps up with all of her might at this one in front of her here. And she's going to attempt to hit it. And upon no resistance and not even hitting the wings of this bat in front of her axe, with the amount of force she puts in, swings, and her follow through makes it hit her shoulder kind of, and she kind of staggers back a slight little bit.
Yep. But being ambidextrous and being specialised in these axes, not enough to put her off her stride, and she will have another attack in just a moment after Darrow gets his second. Now, Darrow...
Which is the one that's most obvious to Darrow?
Well, the thing is, rules is written, you can't move again now, even though you have a second attack. But I allow 5 feet. Call it a sidestep, call it a hop. Because you have nothing directly touching bases with you, you would have to move between probably 2 and 5 feet to get to that one. To get round to this one, you're stepping over your friend's unconscious body. It's more than it's more than a sidestep. So you can get to this one with your second attack. You can't get to that one.
So, I mean, after all, He's being greedy, hitting all of the targets. So
Oh, but yeah. Like,
obviously got magical protection if we both missed it.
yeah, you've done another wild swing and a miss. You're like two guys trying to swat a fly and struggling. But before the end of the round, we have Garona using her third attack because she is ambidextrous, dual wielding, and with specialization in those battle axes, she has 3 attacks with 2 in one of her hands. So
she's going to swing with her left axe at the one thing on her left. She's going to try to hit it again. She does with a -2.
very
AC.
much so, yeah.
Feeling the resistance right when she brings her axe down, right in the middle of the head of this bat. She does 10 damage. And does it cleave in half?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Cleaves right in half. Her axe sinking down home and kind of is getting stuck in the ground with the force that she puts behind her battle axe.
Yep. Out of character, they've got 4 hit points each, so you know if you're hitting it for 10, you're obliterating it, yeah.
Well, that's great.
Okay. So it's another round.
Now, Ammo is changing action
Okay.
because he thinks that Gamona's going to finish this last bat off.
Yep.
And therefore, I assume there's been some indication, even though Ornaith is behind him, there's probably some indication that there's a fallen comrade.
Well, you've come from here, so although he's behind
Yeah.
you now, he was very much to the side of you before, so you've seen it in your peripherals, 100%.
My change of action is that I plan to heal him.
Okay. So yeah, roll
Into my
initiative.
account.
Roll initiative for healing spell then. So I think it's 5.
Which I think is 5, yes. So D10 plus 5. Advanced roll. D10 plus 5 roll.
Okay, so I don't
In
need to change
initiative.
it. Just get rid of the second one. And Corona, I'm getting rid of a third one this round. Kiara.
In theory, if I find that it's still awake, I could pull up, I could hit the bat, but see how things go.
Okay, I want to know, Tammy, is Kiara, is she going to attack with the dagger this round again, or is she going to do something else?
I would like to keep the dagger, please.
Okay. So you don't need to change. Right then, we're ready to go for this round then. So this is round 3 of these bats. So the last bat, give me 1 second. Just looking something up, I'll just be 1 moment. Garona and Darrow take an attack of opportunity as the bat turns to try and fly away.
Oh, yeah!
I'll let whoever rolls it the fastest. Oh, there you
AC
go.
1.
Roll your damage. There you
13
go.
damage.
Right, she's beat you to it. Okay. Garona
Already
closes.
thinking of. So in that case, I'll be saying hit the heads whilst I whilst I look at Cornaith. Cornaith.
Okay, so that was another 8 there, by the way. So for whatever note you have, that was 8 giant bats.
Okay.
Was,
So that's
was
what,
it 3
a total
originally?
of-
Yeah, a total of 11.
11 giant bat head.
See before
And
today.
1 snake head.
Yep. See before today. This is
Giants?
this is a variation of a dungeon I've ran with players around the tabletop. But I've had to limit the monsters that I'm using because of only having so many tokens for Roll20. I found all my stuff that I own in Roll20 today, and I've got all these giant bats, all these giant frogs, snakes. I've got so much cool stuff, so I'm not as limited as I was for this before, and I'm really happy about that. That bat token's really cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So shall I roll a d8 whilst people are doing the other things?
Are you using your healing spell, yeah?
Yes, because we get my healing spells get replaced more quickly.
Yeah.
And I forgot about my bless thing. That puts him on 1, presumably.
Yes. Yeah. Even if you rolled 8 there, it still puts him to 1. I'll need to actually write that in the notes for house rules, because it's very specific. Everyone does it different too. I hope everyone's been alright with my house rules so far. I've never had any complaints from anyone that's used them before, so... I know, Peter, you don't like the critical fumbles table.
No, the one and only, no, the house rule which I have most problem with.
Yeah, I know which one you don't like, yeah.
Let me just look at. I brought him up. Paul Cornaith is awake, presumably,
Awake.
and is typing.
Yes, so Cornaith wakes up. You're conscious again. You're no longer losing your life. And yeah, you've been healed magically, so you're back to vitality. Although you are on 1 hit point, you're not in the best of shape. You are fully conscious, fully lucid. What's the word? Compass mentis. You know, you're back to.
However, the spell that I was in the process of casting has been lost, correct?
Well, it
Only
depends.
one segment.
It depends on where it was
It's
in the
only-
initiative. Yeah, depends if you had started casting it or not.
It's a 1-segment spell. So
So no, you hadn't started casting it.
Cool. I'll take that.
So, I think about the potion and I think about the healing spell.
If you
And Darrow says, I'll heal. I think I'll heal you again, lad. Getting again. That the pretty boy is older than him.
beardless laddie. Okay, Corneth, you back up to 5 hit points, so you're almost at full. It's only really Kiara that's injured now.
What I've I forgot about her, but yes, in that case,
Oh, did you hear that, Dammy?
I will do my. I think about it. I will use my last spell.
Oh, nice roll.
We still have the healing potions,
Yep.
and they were given to us to use.
At no cost. At no cost. So,
At no cost. So, Orm is eager to regain ring he lost.
Very, very
So
eager, it seems.
Just to go on and use the potions if necessary. Especially as it is 2 days since we were last here.
Okay, you're all conscious, and apart from 1 hit point, you're all healthy.
Right. So did people collect the heads whilst I was dealing with the healing? Did Corona?
I believe so. I believe, Corona, you've collected the heads of the snake and bats,
Corona would
yeah?
have collected them.
Oh, you already did the snake, eh?
Okay. So we've got the party grouped, looking in order.
Can everybody, before you go any further, Peter, sorry, I'll
Yeah.
only interrupt you for 1 second. Can you all roll a d20? I'll roll for Tammy. If everybody can roll a d20, and just go ahead, Peter.
Can do it.
Ah, okay.
If we want high, we're doing well.
Paul, if you could roll that for Cornaith, just 1d20. I'm not telling you what it's for unless it becomes relevant. Alright, okay, so you all rolled 15 and higher, okay.
Just asking if one's needed for the dog.
No. Okay. Go ahead, guys.
We all against poison, I think. Whatever. You need to move us forward to the group.
Yep. Now, it's a shame that wasn't 4 to hit rolls, eh?
I know, right?
What a set of rolls if it was, eh? Do you want me to tell you what those rolls were for?
It's up to you.
Well, I was going to say
Yeah.
tough luck, I'm not telling you. If one of you had rolled a bit lower, then I might have told one of you, but with those rolls, no, I ain't telling you nothing.
As I say, we all saved against poison or whatever it was.
The thing is, Peter, sometimes I'll make you roll something, not tell you what it's for, eh? And sometimes I might just be throwing you off a little bit, man. I think every DM should do it, eh? To keep you on your toes. You should not know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
So I will throw them at
Now-
red herrings. That could be a complete red herring.
The worst comes to the worst, we can eventually dredge everything or go through, at least with the detect magic running.
Well, remember, the man you're employed by has resources. So something like dredging, that is
Yes.
feasible.
Yes, but initially, at the moment, what he wants us to do is to clear the monsters out.
Correct.
You still have a magic user spell left. So, and I forgot so far that I had Eric Tram's blessing.
Yeah, Barrackthram's blessing. Okay, a quick bit of background then for new players in the game. Barrackthram is the only god that's been written so far. I've just borrowed from the Forgotten Realms Pantheon, actually. But the first group that played in my game 5 or 6 years ago, somebody wanted to play a priest and he wanted to specialty cleric, and he wanted to make his own god. The name Barrackthram, that was literally just letters thrown together. But it has a bit of a backstory, and you'll see some of it coming out in the game, and that's Peter's character, Darrow, is a dwarven champion, a fighter cleric of Baruch Thram. And yeah, the Baruch Thram's blessing, that is something he has as a granted power at level 1. He gets another one at level 5, but at level 1 he gets that as a granted power. Once per day he gets the spell Bless as a spell-like ability.
Nice.
It's called Baruch Thram's Blessing, and it's just an extra thing for worshipping this homebrewed god. It's my little ways of rewarding players that help build lore and continuity and, depth. He chose to go for the god that I need to work on and build a story for, so he gets that little bonus in his character. I had a previous player in a game who wasn't a priest, she was a mage, but her parents had been worshippers of Baruch Thram, and she converted to this religion and got interested in it, and the player was taking a great interest in my writing in the game. So eventually when she hit level 5, I gave her the priest-like ability as if she was a level 1 priest. So as a mage she got the priest-like ability at level 5. Anyway, you find yourselves the part of the cavern you've not explored, Darrow, would be from this bridge onwards. These bodies have just moved to the side.
We continue progressing as a group until something catches our eye.
Okay, just give me a second, I'll change maps. Have you changed maps?
Yeah.
Okay. But I believe it's all concealed, so I'm going to remove
Black.
some. Yep, give me a second. It's very crude the way I do it, but it works.
It works, man. And to be completely honest, the dynamic lighting aspect is a fucking bitch to get a handle on, so don't feel bad at all.
I think it works enough. Guys, you've played with it a few times, it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I upgraded my subscription level 3 months ago, and I'm still trying to figure out dynamic lighting.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad about
So
that.
your first 3 months of paying for it have been a waste. Right. Okay. So I want
Well,
everybody.
experience.
I want everybody.
Come on, everybody.
Sorry. I want everybody to roll perception. So it's D20, and then it's against the average of your intelligence and wisdom. All players, not the dog. Tammy, you can do that. Roll a D20.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. Kiara, no.
Oh.
No. You do not perceive the thing that is about to be perceived. Neither does Cornet.
Or
Nice rolls, guys. Okay, so the guys in the front, Darrow and Garona. 1 second. Not only do you see these 6 giant flying bats, like you saw before, not only do you see them, but you guys, so the 4 of you see them, but you guys, the 2 of you, Garona and Darrow, because it's outside of your infravision, but you hear something in the distance. Now, zoom out on your map, and I'll ping a rough idea of where it is.
Okay.
Somewhere over here.
Sorry. A mistake.
Let me know when you're ready.
You.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So, somewhere over here-ish, you 2 hear a noise. A scuffling and a voice. Movement.
You're not pinging for us. Are you on the GM layer? or are
I think you can't. Oh, hang on. Can you see that ping, even though it's in the darkness?
There we are.
Yeah? Yeah, you should see that even though it's
I saw
dark.
it this time.
Okay, so
Far as the game.
a scuffling, a voice, perhaps more than one voice, movement.
The
But
voice is of interest.
let me do a little measurement just to see if I have revealed enough map. Yeah, more than enough, okay. So at this point, yeah, there's more of these enemy giant bats coming at you. So I'll get you all to roll initiative. But the sticking point here is that you heard something else away in the distance. Or the two of you did anyway. Darrow, Garona, the guys in the front. You heard something in the distance. Now I'm just going to move you into like a position like that.
And so the for Barackstrom's blessing,
Yes. It was 1.
that's
Initiative speed of 1.
a D10 plus 1 is what I need to roll.
Yeah. And if you remember, click your token first, it'll automatically come up in the tracker. Oh, well, no, it won't, because you're not rolling. Nah, it won't. Don't worry. It's cool. Don't worry about it. I'll just do it manually.
So I did remember, but so I've not included the plus 1, so that's an 8.
It's an 8. Now, Kiara, Tammy, what's Kiara going to do with these giant bats? She managed to pick up. We never mentioned it, but she would have managed to pick up her darts that she dropped previously, because she didn't drop them in the water. She dropped them at her feet on the ground, so she has all her darts again.
Yeah, I'll go with my darts.
Okay, so I'll roll that for you because you can't use the sheet. So anybody watching, Tammy has difficulty with the sheet on Roll20. She can't. Our laptop's not running it, so I'm rolling her dice. So that's dart.
Actually, yeah.
So you go on 8, 10, and 12. What is Garona going to do this round?
Well, she's got her axes ready.
Cool.
So she's going to. Does she see this?
You'll see the first one. Yeah. And you hear the screeching, the almost subsonic fucking screechy sounds that giant bats make. But picture it a lot louder because they're giant.
I also see that there's on my screen something here.
Yeah, this is the giant bat that you see.
No, I see the giant bat, but I also see, what is this? Let me scroll in.
Oh, this is just like rock. This is wall.
Mav. Alright.
So the token for Maverick is not supposed to be.
Oh, why don't I see it?
I don't know why you don't see it, but there is a token named Maverick there. If it's not supposed to.
It's certainly not supposed to be there.
I don't see it.
So like right here is Maverick.
I
Which
can't
is
see
odd
it.
because
And then right here is the bat.
the two of you can see it and I can't.
That's really weird. I can't see it. I'm the DM.
Yeah, it's definitely there on my screen too.
That's so weird. Maverick is a previous character from the game, right enough. But that's so weird. I don't see it on mine. It's like
It does that sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
Josh has that same.
like you've loaded an older version of the map or something. Anyway, would you like to roll initiative for her, Alex?
Yeah, let me get these off the screen real.
So we just totally ignore
ignore it,
the
yeah.
token there from the old.
Ignore that old token that I don't see. Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Not your fault, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, blame roll 20 for that one. 17. And 23. Now I need to roll for the bats. Okay, so at the top of round 1, Darrow, you are casting Baruchthrum's Blessing. So the spell effects are the same as the priest spell Bless.
Everyone gets a +1 to hit.
And 2 saving throws.
Two saving throws.
For how many rounds, Peter? It's the same as the spell. Oh, I'll look.
No, I think it's to morale is the bonus, which is an NPC concept,
That's
not
right.
a
Okay,
BC.
bear with me a second.
I think you said for 6 rounds.
6 rounds, yes. Upon altering the Bless spell, the caster raises the morale of friendly creatures and any saving throw rolls they make against fear effects by +1. Furthermore, it raises their attack dice rolls by +1. Yep, okay, so attacks and morale and saves. Okay.
Saves, okay, that's the difference between editions. Yeah, well, that's a good one.
It's fear-based saves.
Oh, right, okay, only those.
Only fear-based saves, yeah. It's morale-based saves. Fear and morale-based saves. So, Kiara, throwing your first dart. I'll roll it for you. Now, what you need to think now is, this is early in the round, so you're moving before your friends have moved. So in order to get close enough to not get a penalty on your attack, you would have to break rank and jump forward. If you throw your dart from there, you're going to have huge penalties on them to hit. So now you think about what you're going to do with your attack.
Definitely.
Can't she delay?
Sorry?
Can't she delay?
Yes, you can also... Sorry, Tammy, that's what Peter was saying. You can also hold your action, so if you don't want to... So it comes your turn now, you don't want to run in and attack, and you don't want to... You're not sure yet. You can wait till the end of the round, but you will go last. But you can hold your action till the end of the round. That's the other option.
I think I'd probably just leave raging.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, can I go in and forward?
Run forward and attack. I like it. Is that what you said, yeah? Go in and attack.
Huh?
Okay, so I've got to roll 2 for you just now because you're the next 2 turns.
Obviously at +1, but it doesn't make a difference on this roll.
That's a miss. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose your third one now. Roll 1d6 for me, Tammy. Five. Okay, so you lose your third attack this round, and you won't be able to use your darts next round. So we come to Corneth. I see you've put a marker on him for the bless spell. That's cool. I'll just assume that for everybody. So he's moving and... Oh, the sling staff. Okay. And he's missed. Okay. So he's got a staff that's got a sling on the end of it. He's loaded up a rocket at that. Took a shot, and it's a wild miss. Now Garora.
I did not realize until I looked at it to roll. I do get 2 shots per round with my staff sling. I'm sorry about that.
Nice. Okay, so 2 seconds.
I'm so used to a sling being only one per round.
Ditto, I didn't even think of it as a possibility.
There you go. I've added your second attack.
Thank you, sir.
So it's Garona now. Garona with her 2 attacks, and then you have your last one. Alex?
So I was talking, but I was muted. So Corona has what? 60 feet of movement?
120 or 60 and then attack, yeah.
Alright, so she's gonna move 46.7, and hopefully she could still attack these guys.
She can,
with her
but
1x.
if you want to go directly past this one like that, you will evoke an attack of opportunity from this one.
Could I attack it and then move?
No, once you stop to attack, that's your movement finished. Apart from, like I said before, I allow up to 5 meat movement before a second attack. So potentially, if you killed that and wanted to move to hit this one, you could.
Okay, so I could stand here, not opportunity attack it.
Yes.
And I'm gonna swing to hit it.
Okay.
Alright, so swings with my left, steps forward with my left, my right leg, swing with my left blade. 7 or worse. AC.
Is good enough there. AC 8.
And I'm going to swing and I'm going to attack and feel the resistance across my bladed axe as I do 8 damage.
Yeah, that's another one on your list. Split it in half.
And split it in half, and I'm going to take a slight, using the momentum of my axe to take another step forward and bring my other axe down and crit.
Oh, nice. Right, okay, now, this is where... Did you read the crits house rule? So this is where you've got a better chance of other classes of having a super critical because you're the fighter. So you roll 1d4, and if you get a 4, it's triple damage. Oh, right, okay. Okay.
Triple damage!
So yeah, roll damage and triple it.
Yeah. It's only got 4 hit points, of course.
So this is just how far you spray it across the room. 30 damage.
So as I bring my right arm down and cleave this bat clean through and somehow manage to... It rips from the force of the wind of my blade coming down, the 2 wings rip off its body and its body is sliced in half, so it is now in 4 pieces on the ground. I can do that, right? Can I do that?
No, I'm going to have to alter it slightly because you'll notice that I didn't put a cross through it and move it to the side like I did with other ones. I deleted it completely because there's not enough left of it for you to even collect its head.
Oh no!
So you're losing your bounty on that one because you destroyed it so much. It had 4 hit points and you hit it for 30. There is not a head left. There is nothing left.
I hit it with the upon that I'm gonna hit it with the, so it's hitting the broad side of the axe, and I hit it and it just splits out and it just shatters into like a billion pieces and blood's everywhere. Gorona's covered in blood. Kiara is covered in blood.
Yeah. If you wanted to collect that one's head, you would have to do it in a bottle.
She absolutely pink misted that one.
Pink
Can I
mist,
point
exactly.
something out? I can't see the dog on the initiative table.
Oh, correct. Correct. Hang on 1 second.
And presumably the dog will have moved up with Kiara.
Yes, let me roll for him. 2 seconds. Thank you, Peter. So he would have went at 11, so he would have gone. So his would be an attack, I guess. What would you want him to do then, Tammy?
Where's the...
The nearest one is there.
Wouldn't he get his next attack too?
Yes.
His
But we'll do this
initiative was
first.
11. His
He
attack would have been before Corona's.
yeah, before that one died.
There's a chance he that Gavona would have killed one further on.
Yeah, we'll just have to miss him this round then. He's moved up with Kiara, but he's going to miss his attack. He stays with his master, his mistress. Okay.
And I have to roll a new initiative.
Well, we have Cornaith has his second attack on the 24. It's just out of order because we added it halfway through, but he has a second attack with the staff sling.
Yes.
Is that going now?
Yes, that's now. This is the very end of the round.
I mean, yeah, I totally don't expect him to hit anything fucking critical.
Yeah, so that's a fumble.
What?
So roll 1d4. Right, how bad am I going to be to him on his first game? I was quite bad to Peter in his first game. The sling part detaches from the staff part, and it's going to take craftsmanship to fix it. You don't have the craftsmanship. It would take some sort of weaponsmith or at least a bowyer to repair it. It's fucked. For now. Goodbye your weapon. For now. It's still a staff, I guess.
Now, to be fair, it would be safe to assume that it's made of leather or cloth or something of that nature, correct?
Yeah.
So as a leather worker, I could potentially fix it, just not right at the moment.
Yeah, if you have the leather working proficiency, then yes, I'm going to give you a chance to repair it yourself, rather than take it to someone, 100%. Not in the heat of battle, but yeah.
Does it surprise you that I have the leather working proficiency?
I'm not going to let you roll it just now, because it's in the heat of battle. You would definitely have to be sat down and like have some tools or whatever. But yeah, no, that's a nice one. I like that you've got that.
That was actually the reason that I did that, was on the chance that the sling part.
There you go. You just earned some RPB roleplay bonus, mate. That's exactly what I award it for. Things like that.
Right. Arrow, I have to roll a new initiative
New
for.
initiative.
As do I.
Kiara, you lost your darts that round, so if you're attacking with darts again, you don't get to do it this round. So if you want to change your attack, tell me now.
Yeah. The magical dagger again.
Okay, I'll roll that for you then. Nice.
It has happened.
What's happened, sorry?
That my initiative has changed in the table.
Yeah. Okay, so what was that for? You've rolled for the axe, yeah? Kiara's for the dagger. The bats. Cornaith is for... What are you rolling for? Staff? No, that's not for a staff.
Spell.
Cool. And Garona, you have your 3 attacks this round. Oh wait, you've rolled again.
Oh, we don't roll again? Oh,
No,
does
no.
it stay the same?
Unless you're changing weapons. Unless you're
Only if I'm
changing what
changing
you're doing.
weapons?
Yeah, yeah. If you're using the same weapon, you don't roll it
Sorry.
again. No, it's alright. Can you remember what your first one was?
17.
Yeah.
That is my bad. I'm used to people being like, oh, everyone re-roll initiative.
Only re-roll if you're changing what you're doing. If you're doing the same weapon, you don't need to re-roll. Again, I'll try and take things out that bog it down if I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, notice I've not rolled for 8 different initiatives for 8 different bats. Unnecessary.
Potentially the PCs.
There you go. That's your initiative order for round 2. So, Kiara, you go first. So obviously to use that dagger, you're going to have to move up on one of them.
Yeah. I moved close enough to be able to.
Okay. To this closest one.
Yeah, please.
So we've got the two women in front, boys.
Emma's not going to get an attack this round. Remember, you've got +1 to hit on your rolls.
Yep, I added it there, and she has hit. It's +1 on the hit, but not on damage, right? You stick your dagger into the underbelly of this bat as it's flying around you, and you pull it back out again. Chunks of hair and meat and gristle and blood come flying out with the knife, with the dagger. Cornaith, you're casting a spell. Tell me what's happening.
Well, hopefully we're knocking them all unconscious again.
Ooh, he's casting sleep again. Nice.
That's the one benefit of a specialist. You get that extra spell a day as long as it's of your school.
Yeah.
And the only one in his sight line is that first one there, but it affects anything within a 30-foot area of the target.
Well, you're in luck. Because they have a wicked bite,
Now,
these bats, but they are exactly 4 hit dice of creatures between them, because they're a 1 hit dice creature each. Although they have a Theco 19, they have 1 hit dice worth of hit points. They're only 4 hit points each, so that kills them. Or not.
You have to be careful of positioning to make sure you don't sleep party members by mistake.
well, see, that's what I was going to ask Ryan, because this particular spell doesn't do it, but there are others that say it affects anything starting from the center moving out. So I would assume this one only affects enemies.
Sleep doesn't
But
affect
like
allies.
But like color spray, it affects anything.
Color spray affects allies. Yep, but sleep doesn't. So you put them to sleep.
So I don't ever putting you guys to sleep. Nice.
You put them all to sleep for 4 rounds, Paul. Cornaith. Congratulations. Another combat ends. You've absolutely flew through my combats tonight, guys.
That would be running forward and finding that there's nothing to hit.
Yeah, I assume you're just going to coup de grace all 4 of them, yeah?
Yeah. And what? As a matter of curiosity, seems like if my not get it because that's why. If I move back, it's like this. How tall is it?
That will be taller than you, at least 8-10 feet tall. See the ones where it goes black, yeah? Consider that to go to the roof.
Right.
But all of them, unless it's really small like that, like a rock, like a boulder, just picture it like in proportion with how your figure looks on the map. If it looks like a wall, it's a wall. If it looks like a rock, it's a rock.
Right, okay.
So these you can't see over any of them. Like something like that size, like a rock like that, you could see over, like that, like that. But any of these bigger bits, no. These are tall. And then anything where it goes black, that goes up to the ceiling.
Well, Darrow will have come down anyway, join the others, but he's looking around because he did hear that noise earlier.
Let me reveal a little bit more map then.
And I know this isn't a by the book thing, but this is the way I like to roleplay my mages. You guys do notice that, you know, Cornaith he's breathing really heavy, and I mean his eyes have like sunk in, his skin's really pale, and he's looking completely exhausted.
Sapped. Like energy drained from the magic. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea that they can channel magic, but it's got to take a toll on
Takes
you.
it out of them. Yeah, I'm into that. And again, mate, the more you roleplay things like that, the more flavour you give things, the more I'll appreciate that. So let me see how far I've revealed. Okay, so yeah. You'll almost start to see the faintest hint of something with your infravision, because it's the noise. It was right at your where the edge of your infravision. For as far as you've explored now, it's just beyond you, where the noises you heard was. So you might start to see some kind of traces of movement in your infravision.
Yeah. We're forming up again in party order. So maybe, but we're also keeping an eye out what it was we might have heard.
Well, I've revealed more map as you've moved a little bit down.
Is that actually a dragon skeleton down there in our?
Yeah, if you have a closer look. Have a closer look, see what it is.
As the Draco Lich rises from the dirt.
I'm not going to do that to a level 1 party. Come on, guys. I know I'm an asshole, but come on. Nah, it was a nice map, and I thought I'd leave it in. But yeah, you do see some draconic, almost looking bones. But looking at the size of it, you're thinking more, what's the one, wyvern? Aren't you? Or baby dragon. And as you can see, you can only really see the front of it, the neck and head, and part of the wings. So you can't really tell how many legs it had to tell if it was a wyvern or dragon.
We've got other people moving up.
Oops.
Yeah, the dogs presumably get, yeah.
That dog was temporarily affected by a growth spell. Holy shit.
Did you see that? Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Hey, it's already a big dog. A growth spell on this, and it's going to be a bad boy. It has 2d8 damage on its bite.
Do we reckon that we should be seeing where the other noises came from?
Yes, now, let me explain a little bit. In the distance, you see a hole. Or a tunnel going down. Whereas everything's been going out and in front of you before, you see something going down. And give me 1 second, I think I've got it archived actually. Ah, no I don't. I must have deleted it. I had a picture of it. So you see a hole, and I'm only going to explain it further if you go closer to it, but you see a hole.
Just notice text by Cornaith. How long ago was that said? I'm not sure.
I think just now.
It's only just popped.
Yeah, I think only just now.
Yeah. So Darrow's got his axe in hand, us looking for if something's about to come for us.
Okay, move him around. If
I'm
I need you to
looking
stop,
for.
I will.
Hmm?
Okay.
I think our initiative thing has removed the initiative track.
The initiative tracker is gone. I ended the combat.
In that case, shall we grab the heads and retreat?
Yes. So you're able to get 5 because of the mess that Garona made of one of them. So you're only able to pick up another 5 heads, so make sure you make a note of that, 5, not 6.
Yeah. Alex,
So
are you
we're up to
keeping
16
track?
bat heads now.
Yes.
Yeah, 16.
All right, yeah, I got track of them.
So,
Well, I believe Blark was carrying the sack originally. The sack of heads.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I
by
have the large
default,
sack.
yeah, by default you're carrying it now.
That's fine. Corona would definitely be the one carrying it to begin with. So.
Cool.
Also, looking at the time, the way it makes things blue in that way too, if having gathered the heads, was both spellcasters out of magic.
Yes, it is nice timing that way. Like I said, we do run about 4 hours and trying to aim as close to that as we can, and we're within 10 minutes of that. So yeah, it is perfect time to stop and rest or whatever you want to do. Combat's ended.
So if we exit,
Uh-huh.
we show Norm and it's different type of creatures we've been fighting.
Uh-huh. Now, do you want to, before you exit, do you want to go closer to this hole and inspect it so that I can give you a description of it? Just so that we can end it on that.
If you want to do that, but what in character I'm wanting to avoid is triggering another combat, and we've heard voices,
You're not going
whatever. So
You're not going to trigger a combat.
character,
You're not going to trigger a combat, but it's going to make the cliffhanger sweeter.
okay, if you choose to do that,
Yeah,
if you
well,
want to do it,
We have 10 minutes. It's going to time out perfectly, I think. So, as you get closer
Yeah.
to this hole, you see that the hole is man-made. Not necessarily man-made, but you can see that it's dug. You can't necessarily see that it's made with tools, so it could have been dug by giant ants like the previous ones have, but it seems more uniform, the shape, like it's almost square. And then, if you look over the top, does anyone want to look down?
Yeah.
Corona is super curious. She'll look down.
Okay.
Axes sheathed like she normally sheaths them, and she's looking down the hole. Probably like on her hand. Like, is it like a tall hole? Like she down on her hands and knees looking over
After
it?
about, well, no, you wouldn't have to, but when you can see down, it goes down at quite a steep angle, but you see within the first 4 feet of your vision what looks like to have been wedged in place some sort of old wooden plank. And then if you look down a bit further, it's like there's another one. Now they're just like crudely wedged into the dirt, but to make like a kind of makeshift flat steps. So you see almost stairs going down.
right. I was trying to look at the map. Have we done all of this room?
No, you've not had a thorough look through any of this at all. So because you said you wanted to go and check out the hole, I've taken you through the central route.
Yes.
So you've not explored anything in depth, you've not looked in the nooks and crannies, but in looking in that area, you'll have seen everything apart from, there's one bit here I haven't revealed the map, there's a little bit more here up here I haven't revealed the map because you won't have went past that yet. But you'll have managed to see in there, and in this little bit, you'll have seen into them. So yeah, I've revealed most of the map, apart from a little bit up here, because you've walked past it all.
Yes. But what I now can remember has happened previously was a little bit of, let's just finish this, then resulted in a scorpion attacking one of
Yes.
us because, so, having learnt his lesson,
Yeah.
Davo is not going to want to
To,
invite another encounter.
he's not going to let his curiosity get the better of him. That's clever role playing, I like it. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll end it there with that little piece of map unexplored. And Garona's had a peek down the hole and see that there is some sort of constructed, I'm not going to say man-made, but constructed stairway going down.
We've actually gone back out to Norm.
Okay, but so you've seen that, but you're leaving and you're going out to Norm. So
Yeah, I'm gonna help Cornanth on the way.
I'll delete those from the map. I don't currently have a map for Norm. I'm going to make one for next week because we do spend quite a lot of time down at his sawmill and warehouse. But I'll pop you onto the Machine at Arms one for now. But if we remember, we're leaving it at Norm. We're not going to the Machine at Arms. But in fact, what I'll do, even better,
on that, yeah. And
I'll just pull you over.
I don't think Corona would have a unicorn, Alex.
What?
I don't think Corona would qualify for a unicorn.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Sorry, I'm just catching up with this. I missed the unicorn joke. Where did that happen?
Okay, so in another game that I play in, my character, I normally play chaotic evil or chaotic neutral characters. So in order to be an Equerry paladin in 2E, you need to be a maiden true of heart. Well, first character I've ever played maiden true of heart, and it sucks because most of my characters make lewd comments like Garona just did. Because I play in a campaign with Paul, or with Peter in that campaign with the unicorn.
So it's an in-joke, a private sexual joke between the two of you, okay.
So Cornaith said, I'm spent for the day, and then Garona was like, don't worry, most guys say that in my presence.
Yes, okay, yes. I'm following now.
So...
Sorry, guys.
And Paul knows from Alphaba that I make very crude jokes, and it's just... it's funny.
I make a lot of crude jokes as well, not generally when I'm doing D, but I'd play a lot of other stuff on Twitch as well, so check me out playing GTA and like murdering loads of cops and stuff and making really crude jokes.
Can we just clear up? Because last time I forgot or whatever, if we can sort out how much money for heads we've got.
Yes. Yeah,
So before we end then, we have 5 minutes still. Do you want to take payment from Norm for what you've got to have now then?
Yeah, how much for ant heads?
10. But you don't have any more ant heads, do you? Oh, you do?
No.
No, you don't.
No.
That's right.
I'm just writing down how much gold they would be. Scorpion heads would be how much?
They were 20. This is me, IIRC, so Peter will keep me right.
Giant bat heads?
Was it 15, Peter? Was it halfway between... Oh, no, we haven't done bats yet. That's right. What was the beetles, Peter?
We hadn't agreed beetles. We found the beetle heads last time.
Okay, so we need to agree on beetles, right? Okay, so he's going to tell you... Right, just going by the size of them again, then what he'll say is 10 for the beetles and 20 for the bats.
And then for the giant snakeheads?
He'll give you 50 gold for that.
Okay.
So someone make a note for me what that totals.
The Beatles were actually the old group.
Yeah, that's right. She's just wanting to make a note of how much everything is worth in case she comes up against more or whatever.
370.
Yep. So it was the one snakehead and how many bats?
16.
Nice.
So we got 370 gold from that. So I'm putting 0, 0.
Which is 92.5 each.
Yep. So
just out of curiosity, since we were kind of close to it, right there at the end, about how big was that?
Sorry, you cut out at the end there, Paul. How big was what?
That what we assumed to be a dragon's skull.
The skull was maybe like human size. It was pretty big. Maybe as big as a human.
Okay, so 2 of us gets 92 and 2 of us gets 93.
No, because you get 92.5. 0.5 is just 5 silver.
Oh, you're going to break it down by silver?
You're being paid by Norm. Norm's man of wealth. He's got any currency you could need. So yeah, if you need 92.5, you get 92.5.
Okay. Dope!
And that's one thing. Then...
So I've added 92 gold and 5 silver to Tammy's sheet for Kiara.
The one thing which I seem to remember from what was said, what you said last time. Are you the person who doesn't believe in electrum pieces, or is that someone else?
I don't use them. It's not that I don't believe them. I think it's just another small semantic bogging things down, mate. Platinum, gold, silver, copper, 10 of 10 of 10 of 10.
Right.
Simple.
And then, can you remember how many beetle heads we got on the last two? Because that's a different set of characters.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I know that the money's been paid out to those characters.
But we didn't actually, no, not the Beatles.
Oh, you didn't add the Beatles, that's right. The Beatles was, if you bear with me, I have it in notes.
Yeah.
One moment. You fought 5 Beatles.
5 Beatles.
5.
It should be between 4 characters, but one of them's dead. Should then be between 3 characters. I can ask for Paulie to be passed the money.
Yep. You're also asking for him to be past those magical fish hooks, aren't you?
Yes.
We'll roleplay.
You had
next.
said it was 10. Said it was 10 GP. So it's for Alex's characters and mine. It's 16 gold, 6 silver, 7 copper.
Okay. Do you hear that, Alex? That's
What?
just for the two of you. You have to add that to your character sheet for Black's.
And we had-
Yeah, it's Black's wealth. So you're inheriting his wealth as well as his
So
body.
there was what, 5 beetle heads, and they were 10 gold each.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
so
that's
it
to go
works
3
out.
ways.
So we each get 25 gold pieces.
No, because there was Paulie as well.
Part of that goes to Polly.
Gold, 6 silver, 7 copper.
Okay.
Thanks, Peter. Now, Alex and Paul and Tammy, because you've never played with me as Dungeon Master before, what I ask of each player, not a big thing, but write down for me and send to me, however you like, in Discord or whatever, what your character did. In the shortest, you can do it. So, I cast this spell, this spell, this spell. You don't, fighters, you don't need to tell me what you killed. Like, I've got all that marked down, but it's just for your individual experience rewards, like, for example, priests get for casting spells. I don't want to miss anything. I will remember everything, but it's just in case I miss anything. So let me know if you used any spells, if you used any proficiencies. I also want to know any moments that you thought that you roleplayed your character well, interacted with people well, anything that you think was worthy of, anything that's noteworthy at all. Let me know so that I don't forget anything, because I like to add experience for good roleplaying as well as for using your proficiencies and things like that. The roleplaying bonus that I do is made up of not only your actual roleplaying your character, but using their skills as well as the personality. So if you use a clever use of a proficiency check, if it was unconventional, where a lot of people might not have thought of that, I'll give a higher bonus for that. So let me know what you did in the game as soon as you can, so that I can do XP as soon as I can. I'll already start on it, but you can just do that just to remind me in case I missed anything. And I'll get, as soon as I've got that, I'll probably get it done tonight, the experience. It'll probably be ready and I'll post it in Discord tonight. We've got some characters to be pretty close to a level, haven't we?
Yes.
How's Blark come, I forget her name, how's Blark come Garona looking? Experience points. Because that was a big session, wasn't it?
I think if this is correct, I'd have to look up how much.
She has
XP
1867,
of
yeah, it's 2000. So she's leveling.
Ooh, that is dope.
For sure she's leveling. Now, Darrow, because he's multi-class, might not be so close. So you are 1360 on the fighter side, so you need 640. And you need more on the priest side because it's more. No, it's less on cleric, isn't it? What's cleric level 1?
It's less on cleric.
Is it 1500?
1500.
Yeah, so you're close on that. So you're probably leveling as cleric. And if it's a really good XP haul, you're possibly leveling on fighter. But you'd have to get almost 700. So you'd be looking at splitting 1400 between your two classes to level on fighter. So you're probably not leveling on fighter, but you're looking at leveling on cleric this week.
Yeah, which should,
Let me just
there's only
that.
one more spell healing the party. There's one more spell healing the party.
Yep, like 2 seconds. I want to double check something.
Real quick question, so we don't have to cover it or spend time on it. How much would the leather worker in town charge me for a strip of leather so that I can attempt to repair my sling well?
Oh, peanuts. But the thing is,
Norm will pay.
the party have made some friends in the town, and even though they've only played 3 sessions before you joined, and one of them is the Bowyer Fletcher. So you're probably going to speak to him and see if the guys, because of meeting this Norm guy, they've not really paying for much in town, Paul. So that'd be something to be role played.
Is he an elf?
No, he's human.
Then I don't trust him.
Okay. Right,
His work is obviously shoddy compared to mine because, you know, he's not a great.
Found it. Table 23. So yeah, cleric levels at 1500. So yeah, Peter looks pretty much like Darrow will level.